and I think it's because your or Zoom is either transmitting Rec 601
It might be instead
or
of 709 because my main
yeah,
camera here is 709.
it's driving me crazy because I was like trying to figure out my current camera is 709.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are my colors slightly off? I look more red than I'm Scottish, so I'm red, but I look more red than I should.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, look, the stream is on. Cool.
Yay!
Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 437, I want to say, if I remember my notes correctly. I don't have them
Yep.
up. 437. Look at that. Your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm Matt.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we drink beer, we talk tech. That's the show. Homelab, servers, tech, PCs, gaming, anything that interests us. Tonight, maybe a little EV talk, because there's some EV news.
That's true.
There's a whole bunch of fun stuff. Anyway, we do drink alcohol on the show. If you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. And if you like the content you see on this channel and want to help support us in what we do, consider joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. And as a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server, where you can chat with myself as well as all the other hosts from Talking Heads and join the awesome community that hangs out over there. Oh... You know, I have expected to still be tired from last week's 4-hour marathon show with Vince.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, I just got done with a 4-day long vacation where I spent all 4 days on the beach. In fact, 3 hours ago, I was still on the beach.
Damn. So you went from one nerd that can talk a lot to another nerd who can talk a lot.
Also, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you rested up. So,
Yeah.
You know, you're prepared for this stream now.
No, I feel great. So when I travel, I don't usually announce it. I don't talk about it publicly because, well, public figure, I don't want people knowing I'm not home, that kind of thing. But after I've gotten home, heck yeah, let's talk about where I was. I spent most of this weekend in some of my favorite places in the world. This was the view from my hotel room. For most of the trip.
So jealous.
Some people may recognize this very iconic scene. This is Haystack Rock in Cannon Beach, Oregon. And if you think you might have a match, you're probably right. This is the shipwreck scene from Goonies. This was my balcony view for most of this last week. Haystack Rock's amazing. Cannon Beach is fantastic. Like I said, some of my favorite places in the world are all along the Oregon coast. So we spent the last from Sunday until literally 3 p.m. We left Lincoln City, and I just got back home and I'm feeling great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You got to relax, and then you came back to the horrors of the tech world.
Right. Yeah. I didn't read any news for the last 4 days.
Wow.
Like I turned off my phone to SpaceX going IPO, and so all right.
Yeah.
However this lands is where it lands. So cool.
Yeah. You know, it's I think I added that as our last story about. I did a little digging on that. Mm-hmm. It's now that they're public, you can see what they're talking about, and let's just say their space business is doing really well.
Yes,
it's the only part that's doing well.
Also, yes.
And according to this, 93% of their business is AI. And not making any money.
What?
Yeah, 93% according to their filing, despite the first 7 pages of their filing talking about how, you know, innovative their ability to land their rockets and all this stuff. No, but actually
no, it's all just LLMs. That's yeah. No, we're going to send people to Mars. But no, the way we're going to get there is LLMs.
Yeah.
Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Oh, for I just opened a beer. Cool. Good timing.
Incredible timing.
Yeah. So on vacation, we happened upon a bottle shop, and that bottle shop was loaded. So tonight I am drinking a Toppling Goliath Pseudo Sue, but a variant that I have never had before. Apparently they do single hop variants of single Sue, or of Pseudo Sue, and this is the Nectarone Dry Hop Pseudo Sue.
Okay.
So, and this was only $3.50. Like, heck yes. We don't get Toppling Goliath on the West Coast, and so finding one randomly in a bottle shop on vacation. In which I also got 4 cans of Revolution. Their oh gosh, what's the series? The Rye Way to Heaven, Straight Jacket, Cafe Death, Death Star. All of those beers are part of, I forget the series name right now. But they had all of those on the shelf as well, so I bought a can of each of those.
Of course. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they had all the different variants of Delirium Mead, and so I got I brought home one that I've never had before. It's a hopped mead with chilies in it, I want to say. So honey wine with hops and chilies added.
Chilies are really good in mead. I know mead is not exclusively a Pacific Northwest thing.
Right, yeah.
But since moving here, the amount, I don't know if it's the amount of people that are into mead or the amount of people who are into Renaissance fairs, and there's a lot of mead at Renaissance fairs.
There's a definite crossover there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's like, I had probably had mead one time when I used to live in California, and being in Washington now, it's like all mead all the time. There's a dedicated meadery down my street. And they have like 30 of their own stuff, and they're like in the middle of downtown. I'm like, how do you guys brew this stuff here?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I actually have a Two Towns cider house.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Cosmic Explorer.
That is one of my wife's favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. My fiance got it for me. And she said I liked the bottle art, and I literally told her, I was like, if you want to get me a beer or anything, just get something with cool art, because it's more fun. I don't really care much about like the content of it, because I'll either like it or dislike. I don't know enough about beer to say what I would like.
Right.
But if it has cool can art, then maybe it's good.
Right. Yeah.
Or it's really bad.
I will definitely walk through bottle shops and not even read a label, but just go, that's a cool can.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Gonna be a great show, I think. We mentioned in the title of this one that 40,000 new servers are moving off of VMware. I didn't mention why, though, and I think that's a great place to start. Tesco, retail chain in the UK, I guess you'd call them similar to like our Kroger or something like that, is moving 40,000 servers off of VMware amid abusive conduct by Broadcom. Where have we heard this before? Oh, right. Since Broadcom bought VMware and decided to absolutely renege all of their existing contracts, claim that perpetual licenses are not actually perpetual because we'll change one letter in the spelling of something and suddenly you don't get updates anymore.
Well, the contracts were void because it's not VMware anymore. It's Broadcom. It's
Broadcom VMware. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so we're not actually required to support your software that you paid millions upon millions of dollars for. So please sign this new contract in which you pay us millions and millions more on an annual basis.
Yeah, if you've ever messed with ESXi and you're like, wow, this is surprisingly polished software, it's because people pay a lot for that.
Yes.
And like, you know, your previous guest, Vince, you know, not calling him out per se, but he's like, hey, I use ESXi. I don't want to move away. It works.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. And I'm not knocking VMware, but the fact that as soon as Broadcom acquired them, I've heard nothing but bad things.
Yes.
Including from people I know personally who used to work there and quit when Broadcom acquired them because of how terrified they were of Broadcom. So,
Yeah.
as Tom Lawrence would say with the many videos he's made, even still making about transitioning off VMware, there's demand to get away from it.
Yeah. I haven't done any like specific VMware to another platform, XCP-ng or Proxmox or whoever content, but the reason I started redoing a lot of my tutorials for Proxmox was specifically because getting off of VMware was in demand. And so a lot of people associate me as a Homelab YouTuber, which, yeah, I do a lot of Homelab content. The reason I do Homelab content, though, is because it speaks to small and medium businesses. And I come from that small, medium business MSP workspace environment.
You've been in the Hyper-V trenches.
Yeah. In fact, my bread and butter was Hyper-V. Until really just the last couple of years of my employment over there. About 2018, we started deploying a lot of Proxmox as well as Hyper-V. We added it to the suite of things that we do. We also added TrueNAS or FreeNAS as part of our suite, I think right around 2017. And so all of those were huge technologies for us. We took over some shops that had VMware, but we never deployed it or offered it as an option for support. And in fact, some of our biggest customers were, a joke I used to say was, I have made a lot of money pulling Cisco out of places.
Yep.
Getting people off of those annual contracts in which you own the hardware, but you don't own the software that enables it. And getting people out of those parasitic contracts.
No one ever got fired for buying Cisco, but no one ever got fired for taking it away either.
Right, exactly.
For getting rid of it when it started to go bad.
Yeah, and in fact, I have saved hundreds of businesses, millions upon millions of dollars by getting them off of Cisco or Meraki or similar situations to that.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you don't do a lot of this kind of content, but as Tom is very much on the XCP-ng bandwagon, and he got me into that. I'll admit it. I was like, okay, let's. I've done Proxmox. I have Proxmox servers. It works well. Let's do it. Let's do XCP-ng. I recently discovered that ETH-Tool can count errors on a NIC. And it can count the errors up to the trillions. And XCP-ng does not, when you're in a cluster, and this is not knocking XCP-ng specifically, it was actually Linstore that wasn't reporting anything. It was like, oh, this is fine. You just have really high latency disks. But my disks were SSDs. And it turns out that it wasn't the disks. I had a 100 gig network card on every server. And I was using a 3-meter passive DAC. At 100 gig, but not 100 gig, quad 25s. It was 100 gig dual 50s.
Yeah.
Which is way more tenuous in terms of signal integrity. And so, yeah, I had errors in the trillions, which was fun.
I was wondering if I have a picture of your setup. I do. I have at least a backside picture of it.
Of the cluster?
Because I was just at Yocto's a couple of weeks ago, and I went, dear Lord, what is this UDM sitting here in the back? And then I look at the front. So Yocto charges by the U, and if you can fit servers inside of a U, that's what the charge is. And so you are the only one who games the system. You have a CRS 504 with a UDM blowing at each other.
It's beautiful. It works.
Works is such a strong word.
Well, because it's a quad. You've done a review of this switch, actually. It's a quad 100 gig switch.
Yeah, it's actually my top of rack switch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that the... Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the UDM. No,
Yeah.
oh, that was my previous setup with a 10 gig aggregation switch.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, but that is now a MikroTik
Yeah.
quad 100 gig.
Yeah, that's now the CRS 504, which you can find a review of on my channel.
Yeah. And it's a great switch. The funny thing about it is
That's his cluster down below it.
Yep. Yeah, it's the I would never recommend that Supermicro chassis to anyone. It has been interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I did redundancy 3 on my Linstore cluster because I've continuously lost stuff. But at the same time, he charges by the U, and it was the cheapest quad node server that I could find that fit my needs. And speaking of which, actually, Yakto in chat said, "Zeus, say where you were over the weekend." I was at Yakto LAN, 01 LAN.
YOLO LAN, as we've come to call it.
Yes, YOLO LAN, which was really fun, except, 01 Technologies is a server room, not a party venue.
Right.
And so it doesn't exactly have, it has cooling. It has 5 tons of AC in the server room.
Yes.
Not in the place where we were.
Which,
and so,
Saturday and Sunday here in Oregon and Washington, it was 95, 97, something like that, depending on where you were within the metro areas. Which,
hot.
Which was awesome, because I escaped to the beach where it was 82.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the first 2 days of my vacation were glorious.
Yeah, we had, no, we didn't have that. It hit 90. And so what we did was, because there was no AC.
As a reminder, it looked like this.
Yeah. That's actually Kelso, Washington right now.
Yeah.
It's how beautiful it is. It's like I don't know if you've seen those memes of like, Oregon has all this, and it shows like Astoria, and it's like a picture of Dubai. And then it's like stuff like that.
Yes, basically.
But we were at the LAN, and, Yakto is like, hey, it's getting a little hot today. We should set up the AC. So he has this old mechanics bench that has power outlets built in. And it's made of metal, so I'm like, okay, this will work. And it was a window mount unit, but his windows open sideways.
Yeah.
So we couldn't put it in. So I just slid it onto the thing and used 3D printer spools as the things to hold it up. And it worked. It then bent his entire shelf. So if you when you go there soon, you'll see his desk.
I think I'll be up there in
bent.
a couple of weeks for some stuff. But yeah.
Yep, it broke everything, but it worked, and it kept the room about 80 degrees, 75 degrees.
Okay.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And we were all like expecting it to be super hot, but it worked pretty well. And it was funny because his servers were all 240 volt, because why would you run 120 for that scale of servers?
Yeah.
And so we had to use all 240 for our PCs, because the only 120 outlet breaker in the entire place was the one that we were running the AC off.
Yeah. Which is occupado, as they say.
to say the least, yeah. So that was, but it worked. It was very fun.
Yeah.
We played. My fiance was a big World of Warcraft player. And so we were playing some WoW and played a little bit of Crab Champions.
Nice.
And then you texted me while we were cleaning up, because Vince took a train up north. So
yeah. So, by the way, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
By
the way, if you want to look in Talking Heads, Yakto sent the image of it and the LAN.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, let me pull some of that up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let me. I'll pull these images down. Oops. There's that.
This was my birthday LAN.
Yes.
And Yakto decided to give me a gift. Well, let me
he was saying show the presents, so I'm nervous. Oops.
All right, there we go. Oh, hey, autofocus is working on this camera finally. Look at that.
Sorry, sharing images is always interesting, because everything that I show on screen is in the Firefox browser, but Chrome is my default browser on this particular machine, and so rather than saving an image to my PC and then opening it with Firefox, what I'll do is from Discord, I say open in browser, which opens in Chrome, and then I have to copy the link from Chrome to Firefox so I can show it on screen. It's a system that works, okay? Anyway, this is the air conditioning setup.
So I want you to look carefully at that. It's a little dark on the bottom, but do you see the thing that's holding it up?
I see the 3D printing spools right there. I'm wondering what. Hold on. I know that connector. Good God, what?
It's not data.
No, it's not. It's power. I recognize that. I'm trying to place what that connector is. Because that's
it's a UPS item.
Yeah,
it's a thing from a UPS.
Yeah, that's an Eaton connector. Am I right? Okay, yeah.
That is the lithium-ion battery pack from Yocto's UPS. That just happened to be the right height when turned 90 degrees. I don't know if it's can structurally support anything, and it is lithium-ion, so if it gets punctured, but it works.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the Noctua box to the left is a little too tall. Yeah. Sure, that works.
Yeah, it works. And it's just and then there's Yocto's Whaleland PC that he got.
Yes.
Just had to flex on us with that.
Yeah.
And then there's us with my fiance and I both playing World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Next to the giant ass AC unit.
That's pointed the other direction.
Not toward us. And then you can see Shaq over there, which you can't see his face.
Oh, yeah, there's Shaq.
There's a reason his monitor is black behind him.
Oh, no.
Slight issue, he forgot the power brick for his monitor.
Oh, no.
So he just had to use his laptop the entire time.
Oh.
And I think it was a Blade 14 or a Blade 15.
Yeah.
So he had a curved, like 32-inch monitor, and then he forgot it.
He has, I think, the same monitor that I bring to LANs, which is the 32-inch 1440 curve. Yeah.
Yep. And he was so pissed. And the other thing was the
because it's a 24-volt power supply. It's not one that you just have laying around. Yeah.
Yep. And tragically, and the other thing was because his blade is reflective, the screen.
Oh,
he had it on the table. And not only was he behind the door, and so the door was reflecting onto his screen, but the desk he was on was touching the AC unit. And so his desk was vibrating, and he's sitting there, he's like, "Hey guys, am I going crazy, or is my GPU freaking out?" Yeah. I felt poor guy had a little bit of a rough time.
Oh, that's awful.
But Yocto got me this beautiful thing, which is the NEC 2014 code.
There's a similar one right here.
Yeah, that one's on fire. I will admit, and I know Yocto can hear me, I will admit I thought about making an intro for my channel and burning this book. As the intro video, it's like a burning NEC thing. But I also don't want to burn it. It's a huge ass book. This is nice.
Yeah.
And then Vince also got me something. The hazard codes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. Is that gonna?
It might focus. It's thinking about it.
Lumix.
No, it's not even thinking about it.
Nope.
There we. Oh. Yeah.
The
emergency responder codes. Nice.
Yep. So, that was cool. Thank you guys for that. Those were very cool.
That's awesome.
And so I had those as my. They were like, "Oh, we got you some book." Oh God, my camera. Hold on.
Yeah.
They're like, we got you some books.
Classic Lumix autofocus there.
Oh yeah, I had to disable the continuous because otherwise it does the.
It constantly seeks.
Such a pain.
Yeah.
But this camera was $100 and it does 4K 60 out over HDMI.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Because if you hit the shutter button, it says error and shuts down. But I never need to use the shutter button because it's a webcam.
Yeah. I actually have a video coming out probably. Might be late this week or possibly early next week. It's already filmed. It just needs to be edited, but I have another video that goes in front of it of this camera right here that I'm using to shoot because I'm also a cheap bastard. And look, I have a lot of cameras around here, but they're mostly like Sony full frames, so they're like $1,200 and up. And having just replaced or just had to send out for repair my A7 IV, which cost me $800 to put a new mainboard into it. I wasn't about to use one of my full-frame cams as a webcam and put hundreds of hours per year onto that camera. Because I use this camera for 3 to 4 hours every Wednesday. That right there is 200 hours per year on your sensor. Plus,
I mean, it's a write-off, though, so it's free.
That's not the way write-offs work.
Yeah. I mean, according to LTT's fans.
It's still cash, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also live in Oregon, which is one of the most heavily taxed states in the union. So, yeah, like...
Yeah. You don't have sales tax, though.
We don't have sales tax, but have you seen my property taxes?
Yeah. Slight issue.
Yeah, slight issue there, yeah. Anyway, I wasn't about to just throw one of my Sony cameras up here for a full-time webcam. Especially having just spent $800 on a camera repair. So I've been looking for a new webcam to replace my... gosh, is it around here somewhere? There it is. I've been using for years and years and years this little guy, which is a Zcam E1. Fantastic camera. Micro Four Thirds, 1080p, 30 output, but use any lens you want. This is my EF adapter for it. I wanted something like this. This was originally $800, which is still kind of expensive. And, do I buy like a Sony mirrorless camera? The cheapest Sony mirrorless with clean HDMI out that you can get is $500. And like an A5100. The A5100 came out in 2015, for God's sakes. I'm not spending $500 on a decade-old camera just to have it die in a year and a half. Like, that's stupid. And so I found this camera. This is a Yongnuo. Which Yongnuo is a Chinese brand. They make mirrorless and Micro Four Thirds cameras and various like webcams and things like that. But it's a full Micro Four Thirds sensor, 4K with a frame rate, 4K-ish. 4K 24 with the occasional dropped frame, or 1080 30 gorgeous. Use any lens that you want. This is the same lens that I had on this camera at $399.
Damn.
And USB out with UVC web drivers.
Ooh, that's cool.
So OBS native feed, Discord native feed, Zoom native feed. There's no needing to use an in-between program or capture card or anything like that. It frees up needing a PCI Express card, all that kind of stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
I hate this camera. I hate it with a fiery passion. It looks good. I'm going to keep it, but watch the video.
Yeah. I use a DSLR not because I'm like, I need the best image quality.
I dropped my first F-bomb in 500 videos in a proper
because
video.
of this camera.
Because of this camera.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I use a DSLR because I want HDMI out.
Yeah.
And as we were discussing pre-show is Rec 710 versus 609.
601 versus 709. Yeah. But
yes. Oh, other way around.
Yeah. Close.
Close it up. I think your camera works in Rec 610. Your current one, your new one, because it's not actually a standard. It's like in between, standards.
Yeah.
It's actually Rec 650. It's it's dithered colors. But I use it because I need both HDMI outputs to split, because I have my work laptop and my home machine.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'd rather spend way too much money on a DSLR than buy two webcams and just look slightly more to one side when I'm in a different call.
Having two cameras over one monitor is such a pain in the ass. For years, I actually did that here, where I would do Zoom meetings with a little camera that was literally just off frame. Like, this is the top of my monitor right here. My finger is touching my monitor right now. That's how close this framing is.
Can I say how satisfying it is that you were also touching the bottom of your monitor, which is your logo that your frame is in?
Right.
Which is really funny.
No, it's so good. There is so much symmetry here. It's so good. But I would have a little webcam that's just off center of my main monitor. But that's another USB port. That's more USB bandwidth. And even on whatever desktop I was using, that's just more bandwidth. That's just more frustration in getting things to work. And so I wanted one camera that looks great, that does everything, and this does it.
Regrettably does it.
Regrettably does it. And I got this camera off Amazon, and 5 days after buying it, I submitted for a return. And then the return lapsed because I took too long doing the video review, and I went, well, I guess I'm just going to keep it now. It looks really good. It does what I need, and I can get around the frustrations, but I cannot in any good conscience recommend anyone go buy this camera because it is just such... Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah,
let me throw one word at you that might explain why. Android.
Oh, yeah. I remember you showing this in the after party one time. Which subscribe to the Craft Computing Patreon to get access to the after party.
Also, yes.
Yeah, that's terrible. I hate that. The amount of things that run Android that should either be running a really lightweight OS.
Let me throw a number at you. 10.
Oh.
Android 10.
I mean, it's not gonna have. Cybic said it well. A glowing endorsement if I ever hear it. Oh no, burn it. Yeah. Is this? I mean, Android. I feel like running Android, old version of Android on a device that's not connected to the internet, is the same as vibe coding the security on an app.
Yes. Which, by the way, this also has no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth.
There you go.
And no screen. Yet Android.
Oh, through the HDMI out?
Through the HDMI out.
Oh, that's horrible. I hate that. I hate that a lot.
It gets worse and worse the more you dive into this thing. Full video coming. I promise you.
Wow. Yeah, I mean...
I don't do camera reviews often, but this one deserved a video.
I would almost say you should vibe code a new OS for it, but you can't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of one of the stories that I am skipping to on the list.
Yes.
But it was a good transition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Claude, Fable, and Mythos are now blocked by the US government.
Yes.
And if you can bring up basically, if you try using Claude right now, which, let's be honest, if you're in this chat, you either never use Claude or you use it every single day, regrettably, because you're a developer.
Yes.
And those are the two options. And if you've never heard of it, then you're probably not watching this stream. Basically, Claude was like, "Oh, guys, it's too scary to release. We can't release Mythos because it's too powerful. You have to regulate us, please." And then they release it. And then a week later, the government regulates them, and they're like, "Oh no!" And you got to send the picture that I sent you that I found.
Yes. There it is.
Yeah. Regulate me. You are being regulated. Oh my god.
What is my purpose?
Yeah, that's Claude right now. Anthropic is like, "Please regulate us. We'll release it." Oh wow, they're regulating us, guys. This is too far. They shouldn't do this kind of thing.
This is too much regulation.
Yeah. My favorite thing too is Sam Altman's probably crying because his AI isn't powerful enough to be regulated. Codex isn't being regulated, so he's jealous.
Meanwhile, we're just going to switch over to DeepSeek, which has no regulation and is equally as powerful. Yeah.
Well, PewDiePie of all people. I mean, you've heard about the Odysseus thing. I think you guys mentioned that in one of the chats.
Yeah.
One of the videos. Yeah, I mean his thing is pretty good. I love Riz. It's too powerful. Also please buy some stock. Yeah. That's the economy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
SpaceX 93% AI powered. Yeah. By revenue? No, just
yeah.
We're not going to mention revenue. Oh, we're supposed to have revenue for. Oh shit.
Yeah. But what is impressive though is revenue. Everyone's talking about AI. Everyone's burning money with it. But you know who said they're not going to do AI anymore? Surprisingly, is Xbox.
Yeah, and
they said no more.
I actually didn't believe them because the new Xbox president came in with an AI background and looked like another finger on the scale. Oh yeah, no, the new Xbox is going to be completely AI powered. It's going to be the agentic gaming machine. So powerful, it'll play your games for you.
It'll render every frame with no rasterization. It'll just be AI generated.
It'll just render frames via vibes.
Yes.
Honestly, I could have written that press release. And most people would have bought it. But I've actually been pleasantly surprised, not including Xbox's closing of studios that they just propped up to... Oh, I didn't even add that one to the notes. But
the Shenua's Blade or Shenua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, the developer of Senua, which is the third in the Hellblade series, won multiple gaming awards. They hyped it up at an event on June 3rd, just to close the studio on June 15th. And apparently the reason for the hype might have been to get investors interested in AI developments within that studio, which didn't come immediately, and so they closed the studio. All the things that we said to worry about when Microsoft was swallowing up studios 5 years ago. Hey, this is going to lead to mass layoffs. They're too big to actually keep all these studios open. There's too much duplication within this. This is what happens. Oh, look, they closed the studio again.
Yep. Yeah, but thankfully they did release one interesting thing, which is the Xbox X25. So now you can buy some really cool looking hardware and have no games to play on it.
I really hate how much I like this.
It's really cool.
I owned one of the transparent green ones. I don't have that one still, but I still have my my black one. I've had so many Xboxes over the years. I owned a Halo 3 Xbox 360 limited edition for a very brief time. And by very brief, I mean about 48 hours, because I used it in a red paperclip cycle of upgrading a bunch of different things through Craigslist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had built... Gosh, what did I do? I had rebuilt a bicycle for which I traded for some PC parts, which I built into a gaming PC, which I traded for the Xbox 360 Halo edition, for which I traded for a brand new big screen TV. This was like circa 2008, something like that. I did took like $40 in bike parts and traded my way up to what was almost $1,000 TV at the time.
Well, I traded a decent $3,000 car for like 32 gigs of RAM, so I think I got a really good deal nowadays.
I mean, damn. DDR5 or what are we talking like?
No, DDR4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 32 gigs.
Okay, I would have taken the under on that, but
yeah. It was we were building my fiance's gaming PC. We bought a 3080 for $700.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, it should, like, that's so expensive. It's so old. And I'm like, yeah, but the rest of the parts are cheaper. And then the RAM crisis happened.
Yeah.
And now the GPU is about a little cheaper now. But we put 64 gigs of RAM in her system just because it was cheap.
Yeah.
And we're very glad that we did.
Yeah. I have 2 or 3 rigs around here that I've built over the years that have 128 gigs of DDR4 in them. One with 128 gigs of DDR5.
Damn.
And I'm going, anyone want to buy some RAM?
Yeah. You'll sell it to them for half price, and you'll still make 5x what you paid for it.
No, I think I'm in hodl stage right now, because there have been some reports coming out that the memory prices that we're seeing right now are artificially low, because the only and I've actually hinted at this a couple of times that I didn't want to dive into this in my 9070 GRE review, because I figured it was already expansive. That was a 30-minute video.
Yeah.
And do you know the reason why the 9070 GRE is $550? It's because it's a brand new product that's using old stock memory. But that's the last of the old stock memory. Companies buy memory 1 to 2 years in advance, typically. And they will buy allocations and put them in products that they're creating. Well, what happens when that memory that was $100 for 32 gigs dries up and it's now $500 for 32 gigs? Well, now we have to charge $700 for that memory. What happens when they start charging $500 to $700 for that memory? Now it's $1,000 for that memory.
Well,
that's
LPD
the transition that hasn't happened yet. We're still running off the allocations from last October. We haven't made it to June yet. June happens in December.
Yeah. Well, LPDDR5 is now the same cost as GDDR7.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying, because budget cards would use LPDDR5X instead.
Yeah.
As a cheap, a way to get cheap memory.
Yeah.
And now,
remember the whole controversy over the Pascal GT1030 that came with either GDDR5 or DDR4X? Mm-hmm. That's gonna happen at the budget cards at $300.
Yeah.
You think 128-bit bus is low? Oh, honey.
Well, and the scary thing is now it's going to be like, oh, the budget RAM is the same. So it used to be like, oh, well, I could buy a budget card and, get away with cheaper RAM for a while and maybe have some, a shitty bus width or whatever. But now it's the same cost.
Yeah.
And they're not making cheap cards with, GDDR7.
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that? Because normally it's supposed to be more expensive.
Yeah.
I saw a thing the other day, and I'm not in no way endorsing this, to be very clear. But bamboo, it grows rhizomes, and it's really damaging to concrete structures if you grow it close enough.
Yeah.
So never plant it next to data centers. That's a really bad idea.
It also grows incredibly fast and is very difficult. Yeah. It's almost as difficult as mint to get rid of. If anyone's ever gotten mint in their garden or went, I'm going to grow some mint, don't ever grow mint. You will never get rid of mint.
Yeah. Or bindweed is the current one that we're dealing with.
Mine, God.
Did you grow a mint?
Yes. We knew what we were doing, though. We built planter boxes.
Escaped.
Dedicated to mint. And I had one that was like sanctioned off, plasticed off, everything else that had just a small amount of mint, because I make a lot of cocktails and I'm tired of paying $7 for a sprig of mint at the store. I would rather be able to go out, pick a sprig of mint and throw it in a mint julep or whatever. And it was great. And then we got rid of our planter boxes when we needed to rebuild our deck. Well, now underneath the planter box, which was, mind you, 5 feet down, there's mint growing out of my ground.
Oh no.
I'm not done yet.
Ooh.
This spring, it sprung up in our backyard. 70 feet away from where the planter boxes were.
So it traversed under your foundation.
Some animal picked it up and moved it. But now there's mint growing wild in my backyard.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have bindweed in our yard, which is fun. Yeah, plants, I mean, the only thing more invasive than plants is hyperscale data centers. Because those pop up real fast as well. But those also have copper in them, so
Yeah.
And as Jay just said, he got a quote for a B200 HGX for $1 million. Yeah.
That's a 1U server, by the way.
Oh, it is? Oh, jeez.
The HGX B200 is an 8-node B200.
Oh, jeez. 1U.
1U.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah,
By the way, he finished it with, "It's getting worse." Yes, it is. Jay also sent over a super chat earlier on for $5. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for the super chat and the memberships. I don't understand what I got out of XCP-NG that I wouldn't get out of Proxmox, whereas Proxmox has self-built in. What am I missing? Different strokes for different folks, or different integrations, or whatever else. XCP-NG has more orchestration for larger environments. They have better management if you are at scale than Proxmox does. It's the one piece out of Proxmox that really makes me not recommend them for hyperscalers.
And Proxmox Data Center, before anyone says it, Proxmox Data Center Manager does exist.
It does exist.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not XCP-NG. It is not VMware Orchestra. It is not these other tools. It's good, but it's not the same. And
I'll put it this way, Jay. If well, not Jay, but anyone listening in general, if you're running one host, run Proxmox. There's no reason not to. Like, it's locally managed, it's lightweight, it's great.
If you're running 20 hosts, you can also run Proxmox. The clustering tool that's in there, the sharing, the orchestration that exists within those smaller environments, fantastic. If you need to do 1,000 at scale, Proxmox is not your tool.
Yeah.
As much as I love it.
Yeah. Well, and XCP-NG, when you run Zen Orchestra, it's you run a virtual machine, you run Zen Orchestra on that virtual machine. And so the detriment of that is if it's a single host, you're wasting a whole VM.
Yeah.
And if you have a small host, especially, that's terrible. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If you have any more than, if you have multiple hosts, though, Zen Orchestra is an external tool that you can run on anything. So, for example, a lot of, if you had a cluster, and let's say you're worried about one of the nodes in the cluster going down and taking down your management layer, it won't do that. Your management layer is on a different virtual machine. So if you have a dedicated NIC that is the management NIC or the cluster NIC, and you have that shared with the XCP or the Zen Orchestra virtual machine.
To be corrected by Chips and Cheese, who happens to be in chat. Hi, Cheese.
Hey, Cheese.
The HGX B200 is between a 3 and 6U server. He said he doesn't believe it's 1U. You're right. I said it and then I went, wait a second.
That doesn't make the price better.
That doesn't make the price better. But
yes.
Yeah. The air-cooled version is 8U. And in fact, there's also some 10U ones that are out there.
Jesus Christ.
Specifically with the B200, I think they can do 8U on air-cooled. Or you can do water-cooled at 4, and I believe there's also one version that's 3U. But still.
I'm actually I'm in the process of building a ground loop cooling system specifically for Mr. Chips and Cheese. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Because he said, I want to deploy something that takes a lot of power and needs liquid cooling. And as much as 01 Technologies has an incredible data center, I don't think he would take very kindly to you deploying a liquid-cooled thing in his data center right now. Considering when I was at his place, he showed me an image of the liquid getting out of one of those machines. It was not good.
Hey, Yocto. I don't think he shared that image with me. If you would be willing to share that image, I would love to show that image. I don't have to provide any more specifics than that, but if you would be willing to share that image, I would love to show that image.
It's very green.
It's very
lots of green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
there was a leak at a facility that he's aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minorly terrifying. Yeah, the liquid cooling is amazing, but having to deal with liquid is a pain.
Yes.
And I personally never put liquid cooling in any of my systems. Not because it's not better. It is better in a lot of ways. Especially when you have high wattage and low density.
AIOs aren't
Or
anymore.
high density. Huh?
AIOs have been so min-maxed for performance and looks, or for looks
Yeah.
over and cheapness and cost over performance, that air cooling has swung the other way on consumer gear. And so
Really?
an Noctua NHD14 outperforms any 360 AIO that you can buy. Any 360 AIO.
Yeah. That tracks.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's also like if a machine with the amount of like dust and stuff that the average PC experiences, having a continuously moving mechanical part in there that is not a fan
Yeah.
is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
She says, to be fair, Zeus, I didn't say I would need to deploy anything water cooled, but that we could get sampled something that is water cooling. Yes. Thankfully, my micro data center does have a floor drain. Just in case.
Yeah.
And actually, that was one of the things that I've been not to divert too much, but I'm working on. I recently ran a 100 amp sub panel, and I bought a disconnect switch. So I have a physical switch that I can transfer between two different sources.
Yeah.
So if the transformer on the pole of my house blows up, I have my garage is on a second transformer. So assuming that's not downstream, then I can power it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Big electronics are expensive and terrifying.
Yes.
And once you exceed a single 20 amp circuit, you're in a totally different world.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have any specific news to share right now, but I do want people to know that I am in the process of exploring finally getting my studio built on my property, which is fun. Luckily, since the last time I mentioned this, my brother-in-law is now a certified electrician for such applications, and so we're going to be running a proper sub panel and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully before the end of summer, there's some build vlogs going on.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're in the process.
I'll say it now. Set up a security camera on the side of your house, point it at wherever you're going to do this, and get it running. And just don't touch it or think about it until the process is done.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get like a month in and then remember that you should have made a time lapse.
I should have time lapsed
God
the
damn
whole
it.
thing. Yeah. Actually, the plan is way simpler than that, because of codes. So remember how months ago I said you have a brain that works a lot like mine, where you will go, okay, well, what's legally allowed?
Yeah. What can I get away with?
And how can I do this?
Uh-huh.
How can I come in here? And so the original plan, I actually did get approval from the city for the original plan, but we have to follow a whole, because it was going to be attached to my house, it would be a whole different set of codes for residential, for heating, cooling, electrical, structural, earthquake, seismic, all kinds of different things. Plus, it would likely go on as an addition to my house and then increase my already very high property taxes that we mentioned earlier in the show. However, if I put an accessory building on my property that is not attached to my structure, now it's not a habitable space. It doesn't go on my taxes. Even if it's anything over 200 square feet has to be permitted, so I can permit it as a garage or a shop or anything like that. And you can turn a shop into an office space. You can use it for business or office use. And so we're going to put an accessory building on the side that is not physically attached to my building, but has like an 8-inch gap between it and my building, which means it's a full different set of codes. So instead of, so I did the original planning, and the original planning was going to be about $30,000 to build it. We raised about $12,000, of which $3,000 went to taxes because yay.
Yay.
And so I had about $9,000 in cash from selling bricks and things like that. And I was going to go out and finance the rest. Well, a couple of months after I started selling bricks, the floor fell out from the construction market, and there was a supplies shortage, and construction costs went through the roof. And so all of a sudden, my $30,000 project was $50,000 or $60,000, and it's like, do I really want to finance $50,000, or do I just want to like wait this out for another 6 months? And so I waited it out for 6 months, and it never got better. And then we started digging into, well, what is it actually going to take to get this permitted? And I got the plans approved by the city. But that was just like you can go and build this. That's not the inspections, that's not the contractor, that's not anything else. It was going to, all of a sudden my $30,000 project was a $120,000 project, because of everything we had to do. And so, yeah, and I kept waiting. Hopefully this is now a $30,000 project, with everything that I figured out. So,
and your brother being able to do, or your
I am pulling the permit for the electrical work, because
he's not charging you for the work.
He's not charging me for the work. So
that would have been $30,000 on its own,
right? So now, he's going to advise me in the construction. And I am likely going to have someone build the structure itself, but then we are going to do electrical, installation, drywall, finishing, all the other stuff on the inside.
Nice.
So, and yes, I am doing the work. So, cool. By the way, Jay chimes in with another $2 super chat. P.S. Dad's surgery was super successful. That is freaking awesome.
Hell yeah.
I cannot tell you how happy that makes me, and I'm sure it makes you as well. So, awesome, Jay's dad. Hope you have a wonderful recovery.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff's back's going to need a similar surgery afterwards, so after he builds this thing.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not ready to like officially announce anything, but hopefully something 1,000 square foot something comes along very soon.
Okay.
So.
Huh.
I will announce something once shovels hit dirt.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
So, but coming soon.
And how many amps are you going to run to it? Because you got to run as many as possible when you put the mini data center in there.
Fewer than you think, because my panel's already full and I don't want to do a whole house rewire to do it. And so we're going to put a couple circuit doublers in there. We're going to eliminate a couple circuits that we added for my server rack. The server rack's going to move out to the new place. Because we put dual 20 amps behind my server rack, and I was going to readjust those. Why is your camera moving up? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Did you see the, I left it open and no one noticed the, oh wait, hold on. Get out of the way.
Good old Lumix. There you go.
You can see my electrical panel is currently open.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I'm adding a sub panel.
Yeah.
I put the axe effect in there.
Nice.
It's doing something.
Yeah.
Why is your camera moving upward? My whole desk is moving upward.
Yeah, okay.
I put, the axe effect is not UL listed to be inside your panel, but it is funny to put it there.
No, it is not. That is not a recommended use case. To be very
I ran
clear.
12 gauge wire to everything, including my 100 amp sub panel, so I really got to check the temperatures of that, that wire.
Yeah. By the way, we also might have something soon to announce on this little guy, on the Wi-Fi version.
Oh, shit. Okay. Is it still going to maintain that form factor, or are you going to change it up?
Very, very similar. Very similar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Anyway, the plan right now is to run a 60 amp sub panel. That's going to be a 240 by 30 for the server rack. That's going to be a 240 by 30 for the HVAC, and that's going to be 220 120s for all the lights and switches and outlets and stuff. So
Nice.
It is going to be a 2-story building, coming in just under the height requirement that we have for accessory buildings. We can build a 15-foot building and the height of the building is measured 50% up the curve of the roof. And so as soon as your roof starts to slope is where they start, and the peak of your roof is where they finish, and they measure to the 50% point by my code.
Okay.
We're starting the curve of the roof 8 feet off the ground.
Nice.
Speaking of legal...
My city does, your ADU cannot exceed your current building.
Yes, cannot. Which my current building is well above that.
Okay.
And my whole situation is really weird. We have a corner lot, and there's regulations around what you can do: front yard, side yard, backyard. What accessory structures can you add? What's the setback requirement, etc., etc. But my house is laid out sideways. Because my, I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to make it too easy to find my house. But my house is on a corner lot on a cul-de-sac, and so my property like loops around from the street and occupies space on like 3 sides that are faced with street. But the front of my house is on one particular road, which makes my backyard something different. Well, my backyard would be very tiny in that circumstance. Well, my backyard is actually to the side of the house, which is what is fenced, which is where my back door is at. It's a weird layout. Also, it's a split level house, so it's also 5 feet below grade. Everything is weird about my house when it comes to code.
If I had a nickel for every craft computing Discord user who had a home data center and had a corner lot, I'd have like 3 nickels for some reason.
Yeah. The really fun part is when it comes to the size of the building, because the footprint of the building cannot occupy more than 20% of your yard space. And they measure that in...
That's a weird code requirement.
It is. And they measure that in the size of whatever that yard is. So they measure backyard, side yard, front yard. And if you're putting something in the side yard, it can only occupy 20% of that side yard. However, if I eliminate the fence from my backyard, all of a sudden my backyard and my side yard are all the same, which means if I take that fence out, now it's one contiguous strip, I can claim that's my backyard, and I can put a footprint down. The size of the footprint on a 16 by 32 building is 18.5%.
Wow.
It gets better.
Yeah.
It gets better because it's a 16 by 32. So if you take a 2-story footprint of that's 16 by 32, that's 512 square feet, that's 1,024 square feet of occupiable space. Well, if you take the stairwell out, that's 980 square feet of actual usable space. There's another regulation that says any accessory building cannot be over 50% of your house's size.
Yes.
So my house is 2,020 square feet. So if it was 1024, it's over. But if it's 980, it's under.
Jesus.
We are skirting everything to like...
When they make these rules, this is what they expect. They expect you to be within 5% of every maximum because that's what economically makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, that sounds about right. I'm planning on building an ADU for my place because I already have a detached garage.
Yeah.
And that's going to be livable, so it has to be, a usable that amount of space.
Yeah.
But for us, it's because I'm in Washington, we have this fun thing here where it's hard surfaces for rain. And so if you have more than 50, I think in the city I'm in, it's 50% of your property, only 50% can be covered in hard surfaces, which hard surfaces is roofs and driveways.
Yeah.
Which is a slight issue because my property is very small. My house takes up already like 40% of it.
Yeah.
So we're destroying our driveway in order to build an ADU. That's the only way we can
We'll just drive over the grass. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it works. We currently have 4 EVs.
It is Washington, so...
Yeah, true. We have 4 EVs parked in a semicircle.
I've seen your driveway layout.
Yes, yeah, it's a little horrifying. But it works, and the amount of EV charging cables coming out of my garage underneath the garage door is a little concerning.
Yeah.
But I might have to add another one, because you know what's coming out soon?
The Slate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For $24,950.
I saw this, and I didn't think they were actually going to hit that price point, because their original marketing said 20,000 with tax incentives. That was their original. That was their original goal, which the tax incentive was $7,000 for the federal incentive at the time.
Yeah.
And so we're going, okay, so you're going to price it at 27 flat or 26,995 or whatever, and you're going to be able to sell them for 20. Well, then the tax incentive went away, and we're like, oh great, this on top of inflation, on top of everything else, this is going to be a $32,000 truck. They actually did it, and below what we thought they would.
Yeah. And I think one of the ways they pulled this off as well is, I don't know if you heard, but they switched to an LFP battery.
Yeah.
Which, to me, people who are anti-LFP for EVs and were like, I just want range, this truck is designed to be customized.
Right.
And if it's designed to be customized, people are going to be poking at it 4 owners later, 300,000 miles later. Like, the batteries have gotten cheaper, but there's still a substantial amount of the car. Yep. LFP batteries last forever.
Yes. Those are 20-year batteries.
And the other thing is, they're less energy dense, but you can charge them to 100% every night, and that's recommended.
Yeah.
Whereas NMC, or lithium ion, they only want you to go to 80, and you only hit 100 if you're doing a road trip. And if you're worried about range, and 20% is a make or break, like if your commute is super long, then you actually want an LFP, because you want to charge it all the time.
Yeah, if you're the kind who, which in a work truck, if you're buying this to be a knock around, go do work, load it up every single day, be a yard maintenance company where you're covering 80 miles, round trip, every single day. This is the truck you want for that kind of thing.
Yep. My roommate actually was attempting to buy a Bolt, but the prices did a little fun thing in conjunction with oil prices.
Yeah.
And their Chevy Spark gets about 40 miles of range.
Yeah.
Chevy Spark EV. It works, and they actually DoorDash with that, surprisingly.
Nice.
Because we're Gen Z and careers don't exist. So, despite her having a degree and working in the field that her degree is in, she still has to DoorDash in order to pay her 1 room of rent.
Yeah. Hashtag hustle culture.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's not me saying, oh, she needs to work harder so she can pay me more. I charge her a good rate for rent. Yeah. I don't gouge her like you do your sister. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. She gets a good deal. Jeff's sister and my roommate are good friends.
Yes.
And so it's very fun. I feel like, Jeff, if you raise your rent on Kendall, then Kendall's going to complain to my roommate. And then my roommate is going to be like, I'll be like, oh, well, Jeff raised the rent.
Yeah.
So maybe I should do this.
Yeah. I mean, we're landlords now. Like, we're supposed to be raising the rent 10% every year. Like, that's what should happen. Did I mention all of the perks that come with you give your roommate free charging. And if Kendall would knuckle down and get an EV, which, by the way, she might be buying an EV.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
What, a Subaru EV?
Yeah, the Subi. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They've gotten better.
Yes. Well, they're not the Solterra anymore. They still have the Solterra, but they have the Trail Seeker and another one, which is basically an Outback and a Crosstrek. They've got 2 new EVs that just came out. And 370 horsepower, 280 mile of range, 35,000. Like, holy crap, what a good freaking deal.
As a proud owner of all the weird bad EVs all at the same time.
The Spark, the Lightning, the Solterra. Like,
yeah, and a BMW i3.
Oh, and an i3, that's right, yeah.
A non-Rex i3. Just the BEV version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Toyota was dragging its feet for a while, but it's coming up. I don't know, I don't think I added it to the list.
Yeah.
But here, I'll add this real quick and you can click on it. Because we're on the legally mandated for craft computing talking heads car discussion. This is Ford's new universal EV platform that might still come out.
Ooh.
Maybe, we'll see. But Ford did something that.
Where'd you post that? Sorry.
I put it at the next page of the show notes. I just
threw
it in there.
Gotcha.
Ford did something interesting.
Sorry, we have 12 different chats open right now.
Oh, true.
There we go.
Ford did something interesting, which is not related to their car, but they turned all their battery plants into AI, basically capacitors, if you want to think of it that way. Because AI likes to suddenly hit the power grid and then die off suddenly while training.
Yeah.
As probably Jay in our chat is very aware of, training AI it's hard. Like, AI is already a black box, but training is an even more black box power wise.
Yeah.
Grids will prepare and they'll ramp up and ramp down based on demand, but GPUs can ramp from 0 watts to thousands of watts each super suddenly.
Yes.
So yeah, it's tough. So Ford was like, hey, all our batteries are going to go to this, but we're still working on this EV. And they claim it'll be 30 grand. So we'll see. The flash.
I forgot I had the flash turned on.
But yeah, so I just that thing I sent was they found the mule, the test mule, as it were.
Yeah.
Which looks like a Maverick, an EV Maverick.
It does, yeah.
Which is great.
Sorry. I had to comment that we're mortal enemies at the moment because Portland Fire are playing Seattle right now, and so
oh, wow.
I have them on the screen behind me.
Yeah, that's a great.
So if I glance
shot.
up, and, by the way, it's 16-7 Portland.
Wow. See, I'm between the two of you guys, but Vince will be personally offended.
I know he will.
As a Seattleite.
Yeah. Anyway, wow. I did see this over the weekend because this was leaked, I think, on Saturday, and part of me likes that Ford is not abandoning EVs because current administration's war against anything that happens to be sustainable as woke or whatever bullshit they're trying to throw out there. Even though they stopped production of the Lightning, and there's a couple other car companies that are going, maybe EVs aren't the... Oh, crap, war in Iran? Yeah, let's ramp EVs back up all of a sudden. Part of me likes that they're not, like, rejecting EVs and they're still showing that things are in development. Part of me hates the modern truck with the 4-foot bed. Like, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
This is why... the Slate exists. Sorry, that's not the right story.
This is why we blocked Mythos.
Yeah. This is why the Slate exists. This is why K-Trucks are so freaking popular. We still need trucks to haul things. Like,
yeah.
God. And not everything needs to be this massive behemoth of a vehicle. Like, give me a Nissan hardbody. I know you don't know what that is. It's a thing from the 80s. But give me a Dakota. Give me a freaking, Ford Ranger. Give me a 6 to 7 to 8 foot bed with a 2-door cab, that I can just do work with. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Lightning is nice because it has the 5.5 foot bed, but even an F-150 is a massive vehicle.
Yeah.
I own my i3. This is the most of first world problems, but I live in a city that has a relatively dense downtown.
Yeah.
And my fiance owns a Solterra. I own the Lightning, and those are both long cars. They're big cars.
Yeah.
And the i3 is a 2.5 door-ish. It has the weird like side opening door thing where you have to open one door and the second one comes out.
Yeah, it's got a suicide door.
Yeah, it has 4 seats, but barely.
Yeah.
It's a sedan. It's a two door little hatchback weird thing.
Yeah.
It's closer to a Nissan Z than it is to an actual four-door.
Yeah. It's a four-door the same way that a Mazda RX-8 is a four-door.
Well, in the world of this is actually a good segue in the tech/car space.
Mm-hmm.
You've looked at the Ferrari Luce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has the same door layout as the i3.
Yes.
The i3 is back. They brought back an inferior i3 built by Johnny Ive and Ferrari.
That's right. Yeah.
We have Ferrari Luce at home. It's the i3. Which I would say you could get for only like I paid 11 grand for mine. Mine was a 2019 with 38,000 miles. You could have gotten one for like 7 grand, but the small explosions in the Middle East have caused prices to not be that anymore.
Yeah. I talked about my Chevy Bolt buying that last summer, and we also bought our Kia EV9 back in March this year. And
aren't you glad you did it then?
Oh God, that car is $10,000 more today.
Prices are going to go down in gas.
Yeah.
But not quickly.
Yeah.
And there's no guaranteeing they won't go up again.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Everyone should go install a sketchy EV charger in their house, and then their insurance will triple on their house insurance. But
yeah. We did take our EV9 on the trip this last weekend, and it's fantastic. We charged to full before we left. It was about 135 miles to our first stop. We did that, no problem at all. The car has a rated range of 280. The way we drive it, we get actually closer to about 310 if we go all the way to 0. So pretty darn good range. But we had about 400 miles to do, which means at some point we had to charge on the trip. And so I think it was on day 2. We're like, well, there's and by the way, where we were going, there's not an extensive charging network. Like it's the charging network that everyone thinks exists, where it's like, oh no, like there's a gas station in every corner, but if you have to charge an EV, there's only one every 60 miles.
Yeah.
It's not quite that bad where we were. There's 3 chargers in Astoria. There are none in Seaside. There's 1 in Cannon Beach, and then there's 1 in Tillamook if you go further south. But that's like a 60-mile range. Like there's just not a lot there. We had planned on stopping in Cannon Beach and they have a rapid charger there. It's only a 50 kilowatt, which means we would have had to be there, 40 minutes to get a charge. Oh,
unacceptable.
To charge enough for our entire trip.
The charger that I wish was slower, which I can't believe I'm saying this, is the one in Weed, California. Because whenever I go up and down because I originally lived in the Bay Area and now I live in Washington.
Yeah.
And so I basically am, I-5 whenever I go back and forth.
Yeah.
And I
like how you've adapted your slang. It's I-5.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. Psychologically, yeah, it's the 5 if you're in California. Oh God, I used to say the 5 too.
You did. You did.
Oh no,
I was so impressed. I thought that was conscious.
No, that was totally subconscious, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You're a true Northwesterner now.
Oh no, I've lost my, I've lost my tan and my calling it the 5. But there's one in Weed. It's a Tesla supercharger.
Uh-huh.
And it'll put like 180 kilowatt continuous into the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great, but there's also a really cute diner there. And the diner is like it's awesome, but it's really slow, and it's like you want to sit down and have food.
Yeah.
Every time we go to that diner, because we do it every road trip, I'll sit down, I'll plug the truck in, we'll walk over, we'll sit down immediately because it's not usually super busy.
Yeah.
And every time, the second the food comes out, I'll get a notification on my phone saying the truck is done.
Yeah.
And if I don't move the truck within 5 minutes, you get charged per minute for overage,
Yeah.
for idle fees. And I'm like, God damn it. So I have to get up when my food has just arrived and go move my truck.
My wife experienced this about a week and a half ago. She made a trip up to Portland to IKEA, and it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. She had 25% battery. It's a 50-mile trip just to go one way, so she would have to charge up there when she got there. But I went, hey, there's like 3 chargers within that parking lot, and so... like 3 like different like 8-bay chargers that you can use. There's the slow charger at IKEA. She got there and they were full. And there's also a rapid charger. I think it's a Charge America charger on the other side of the parking lot. And so I went, just go there, and they've got a level 3 charger there. Just plug into that, and you should be good. And she goes, okay, cool. Well, she plugged into the 350 kilowatt charger, which our car is fully capable of 350 kilowatt. They were also charging 60 cents a kilowatt hour.
Ooh.
She went from 10 to full because she plugged it in and went in and ate. And so she got a $60 charge fee because she plugged it in and went to full. And I almost told her, plug in for 10 minutes and then go eat. Like, just sit there, plug in for... That's all you need. Because you'll be at 40% faster than you can blink. And if you go eat somewhere, it's going to charge you to full. And I didn't think about telling her that. And she went in and then went into, I think, Red Robin or something like that. And then came out 30 minutes later, full charge.
Also, I activated Yocto.
Yeah.
He said, dude, the diner, the waitress is awesome. High-low cafe. That's the one.
Yeah. That's right across from the pilot station, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I've been to that diner too.
It's really good on the Tesla one is on the same side as high-low, and so you walk past the pilot to that.
Yeah.
If you're on I-5,
either Medford or Weed have been our stops when we're driving through. It's like because usually I'm either going to San Francisco or LA if I'm doing that jog, and so. Sometimes it's Medford because they've got some really great diners. We used to stop at Sherry's in Medford all the time, but Sherry's closed. R.I.P. Sherry's.
Sherry's.
But yeah, I think the last time we went through, we went to Weed, and yeah.
Yeah, actually, what was it? The going along like what was it? Oh man, I forgot. There's a charger in that was it. Ashland, Oregon.
Yeah.
Added a charger.
Yeah.
If you want to take the 99 for a bit, I called it the 99 there.
I'm
so close.
That's even worse. Oh, God.
Because that's not even in California. Yeah.
That's not... we don't even say... It's Highway 99.
So that's why I said the 99.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. That hurt me even worse on a deep psychological level. Like, God.
Yeah. Well, if you're on, I'll say 99. If you're on 99.
Yeah, you can also just say 99.
Yeah. There's a supercharger in Ashland, and they just added, and there's a really good cafe there.
Okay.
And it's they have their own beers, and they're really good.
Okay.
It's only there, and it's weird because you have to like go into Ashland and then go along this weird windy road that almost feels like it should be a dirt road,
66.
but it's not. What?
There's 66 out of Ashland, and that's probably what you're talking about.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it might be that.
66 is the worst highway I've ever driven in my life.
Yeah.
It is awful. So, my wife and I, we love to do trips like... I've talked about this a couple of times where I love traveling. I never got the opportunity to travel when I was younger. And so now that I'm older and I have to travel for work, like people are like, oh, I have to go to Vegas again. I'm like, I freaking love going to Vegas for a week at a time because I get to experience things that aren't local and then I get to go home and it's great. Like, I don't mind going to Vegas and trying all the different restaurants and walking through the casinos. It's something different. It's something we don't have here. But then I get to go home. And it's fun. But my wife and I love to road trip. And we usually just road trip within, like, Northern California, Oregon, Washington. Like, we'll pick pick a city that we haven't been to, or some ski resort or something like that. We'll go for a couple of days, and we'll just drive there and have a great time. On our honeymoon, we decided to do like an Oregon road trip. And so we drove south. We went to Crater Lake, and then I think day 3 we needed to get to Ashland. And because we had a bed and breakfast there, and that's
you did an Oregon road trip, so you went to the best city in Oregon, right? The Dalles.
The Dalles? No. 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 Look, I've been to the Dalles. I'm sure there's nice people there.
Yeah.
But we went from Crater Lake, and I went, well, we could just jog back to I-5 and then go to Ashland, or there's this road that looks like it connects, and it looks like it drives through the mountains. It's Highway 66, and that'll get us there. It'll take another hour, but it looks like a pretty drive. And so, well, okay, yeah, let's take that.
Yeah.
Both of us got car sick. Neither of us ever gets car sick.
Oh no.
It's a 55-mile-an-hour road that has corners that do this, and they're not banked. Like, they didn't bother grading the corners. Ooh. And so you have to take every corner at 20 miles an hour, and that's even too fast. And at literally the worst road, the worst driving experience I've ever had in my life. Also, I was in a 1998 Chevy Tracker when we did that trip. Which is not the world's greatest cornering vehicle.
What? Well, you're in Oregon, and what's the thing? It's like, if you don't like the weather in Oregon, you wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what everyone wants to know in chat, Jeff, is, are you installing solar on the new studio?
Hopefully.
Okay. Because I happen to have, and I think I mentioned to you this before, is I have an EG4 6000 XP.
Yeah.
Which is a fully off-grid 6,000 watt inverter. Can do 240, and it can generate its own power.
Yeah.
And I'm going to donate that to the Craft Computing channel as a way to get a small sponsor spot for a project that I am working on and not ready to talk about.
Yes.
So
possibly. I will say, even though I live on the 45th parallel, which should be a pretty good spot for solar, like decent enough for solar, the position of my house and the orientation of my building and the local geography is, everything is working against me for reliable solar. We have lots of trees around us. We have, I live at the top of a hill, but in the depression at the top of the hill. Oh. And so I get late morning sun and very, very early sunsets. Even during the summer.
Oof.
And it's not great. That being said, any solar is good solar. And so...
Yeah? Well, you know what you could do, Jeff?
What I'm looking to do, and as soon as we have approval and permits, and like I said, we're breaking ground, is my plan is to reach out to Anchor or Blue Eddy or any of the other like popular battery solar combo things that sponsor YouTubers. And I want to see if someone will sponsor some solar panels and some battery kits. And instead of installing UPSs for the 2 racks that I'm going to put in the new space, which by the way, I'm going to put 2 racks in the new space. Is, hey, rather than doing UPSs, could we do a small battery wall and do a solar implementation so I could take my server rack primarily off grid?
Well, you know what you should do, Jeff? This would be a cool video idea. Solar power without the solar. Basically just battery backups. And just say, my house doesn't work for this. My power is cheap, but things can go offline. So
we want to install battery backups anyway for a couple things. I've talked about my underground river that runs beneath my house, in my below grade house. in which it flooded once because we lost power for 6 hours, and it started flooding at hour 2. Yeah, that was so much fun.
Issue.
So right now we do have a battery backup unit that is just dedicated to the sump pumps, but I would love to do, look, I'm not looking to nomad it here. I'm not looking to off-grid, server farm or crap like that. But having enough battery power where I could run the essentials, the refrigerator, the sump pumps, some lights inside the main house, some lights out in the studio. Yeah. Let's call it 30 kilowatt hour. More than enough to do the basics around the house for a day or two. And that's all I want. And if I could charge that via solar and then be off-grid for a couple of days if things go weird and still be able to charge up, let's say I can generate 10 kilowatt hour per day of solar energy, could we build a system that can do that in my area that would supplement that? That being said, in my area, it makes no sense at all to put solar in because my power is 7.4 cents per kilowatt hour. I have the cheapest power in the country, which is part of the reason I bought the house here.
Smart. Yeah.
But if I can put panels on the roof and they're sponsored and I can show it off, even though it doesn't make sense necessarily for me, but I can show it off and go look, here's how much power I could generate. Here's how much power it could save you if you're paying 20 cents a kilowatt hour, which everyone else in Oregon is.
Did I ever tell you, this is a weird tangent, but I think you might appreciate this.
No tangents on this show. No tangents on this show.
No, never tangent. Yeah, Talking Heads is
It's incredibly structured, straightforward, A, B, C.
Exactly. You know who the 8-bit guy is, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So he is incredibly chill.
Yeah.
And if you want to, he does meetups at his house, which I'm not, I don't know how, I don't think that's a great idea, but he does them. So that's his, he can do what he wants to do.
There's a list of about 8 Patreon members who I would even extend that offer to.
Yeah.
It is a very short list. And it's only the ones I've met in person already at multiple events.
Yeah. Or have left a bag of toiletries at your house. Ian Cuttress.
Yeah.
But he'll do meetups. And
Ian loved snuggles with my dog for the 6 hours we got to sleep.
Hell yeah. Well, he has his 2 cats at home. So
yes, yeah.
But so 8-bit guy, if you message him in advance, he will totally be hey, come to my place. I'll show you all the cool stuff I do for videos. He'll show you his studio.
Yeah.
I happen to be doing a road trip through the South, and I was you know what? I was sitting in an Airbnb 8 hours before I would have gone to see him.
Yeah.
And I'm screw it. We're in the city he lives in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna message him. And so I did, and he got back to me in 10 minutes and was yeah, here's my address. Come over, hang out. I was all right, sure. And I knock on. We go to his place, and
by the way, if you message me for my home address,
there
will be a police report in response. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty private person.
Yeah. 8-bit guy is a different story. He, he's very trusting and very chill. And if you live in Texas, you could go see him. I won't say exactly where he is, but he also owns a couple of publicly accessible locations.
Right. Yeah.
He owns his what's it called? The arcade. But I went to his place and I got to see his whole solar setup and everything he has there. Because he did the exact same thing that you're thinking of doing. And so it was fascinating seeing his thought process of here's why I have solar, here's how it works, blah blah blah. He's definitely in the crowd of he DIY'd his solar.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, 8-bit guy's solar stuff is very cool. It is cool. I don't remember exactly why.
I saw he did a video on it recently as well.
Yes.
He was doing some tweaks to it recently. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a setup. I mean, he was kind of one of the OGs of EVs. I think he had a BMW i3 in 2014.
I think that tracks, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like he leased it and he was like doing road trips across Texas, which is not great for EVs in terms of like yeah, so but very chill guy.
Yeah.
I forgot exactly what I was gonna bring up with that, but it was something about his solar. Um what did Jay say? An example of address Microsoft uses for Contoso?
Oh,
That's what
Contoso.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Contoso.net. Yeah.
That's what Microsoft uses.
Yep. Yeah, that's in all their training manuals. That's in all their documentation. Is when they need to spin up an AD server for a training, it's Contoso.net.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
That was in my training material in 2006 for onboarding for
Damn.
Active Directory.
Yeah, yeah. Contoso. Wow, that's a throwback to the existence of Hyper-V existing. But yeah, I don't know. I think a jank, a jank video of your electrical stuff would be fun.
I think it would be, yeah. Like I said, I want to do something that's not just throw a bunch of UPS units at it, because I think there's smarter ways to do it in 2026, and more expansive ways to do it in 2026. Like UPS exists for battery backup, which means the power went out. Oh shit, let's turn the lights off. How quickly can we turn the lights off? How quickly can we program server shutdowns? Oh shoot, you have a Windows VM? Sorry, that didn't respond to the shutdown command. We're gonna hang and then kill it by cutting power because we're out of battery now. Like, that's been my experience. And I would love a battery backup that would work for the servers for 24 hours or would work for my house for 36, 70 to 72 hours. Like somewhere in that range.
Tonka U just mentioned this in chat. Your EV9 does have V2L capability.
We've looked into that. In fact, we did buy a charger that is compatible with that. We bought an Empora charger, and they do sell the module that comes with the inverter that will flip the switch and be able to backfeed. So technically, I have a 100 kilowatt capable battery in my driveway. That is a thing.
All I'm saying, Jeff, is if your house, even if your house is consuming, because I think by default they can do 20 amp 120 out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Your house, unless your servers are doing this, which is a different thing, but your house generally isn't consuming 20 amps at all times.
Mine is.
Right. Huh?
Mine is.
Yours is, yeah, true. But you could probably export that 120 volt 20 amp to a battery and then just use it as like the worst buffer ever. And you'd be like slowly trickling down, like you'd be trickle charging the batteries.
I have considered doing a non-solar battery pack of doing like a 30 to 50 kilowatt hour just like Tesla battery wall, but feeding it off the grid, because I only pay 7.4 cents per kilowatt hour. And if all I'm going to do is backfeed it, then buying $20,000 in solar panels doesn't make a lot of sense, because I'll never make that back, because I'm not paying 30 cents a kilowatt hour to my power company. I'm paying 7 cents. And so for me, a straight up battery wall makes all the sense in the world. But again, if I can get Anchor to send over, a battery wall or something like that, I think that wins for everyone. I can show off the solution. I don't have to pay for it. They get advertisement. I get the solution that I need. And those are the sponsored videos that I like to do, of like, look, whether or not it makes 100% sense in the world for me to implement all of this, it does make sense to implement this at some level for everyone. And so whether it's grid fed or solar fed makes no difference to me. But I want a battery wall. And if I can
I think every house should have a battery.
I think so. Yeah.
And a couple A6000 Blackwells outside in a little pod that you can't control, and then they might sell you back the tokens.
Right. Yeah. Actually, you joke at that. There is a company that I met at GTC that, hey, do you have GPUs that you're not using? Subscribe to our cloud service, and we will lease your GPUs and pay you 50 cents an hour for GPU use.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Hey, did you buy a Blackwell 6000 and don't use it 100% of the time? We will lease the dead space for you and pay you real money in return.
Well, Jeff, that's how you feed your family with review samples. Is you just rent them out to all these.
Finally, I can put those GPUs to use.
Finally, you can eat the GPUs, and by that you mean use them to make
Yeah.
money, and then yeah.
Let's less eat
well,
the GPUs and more nibble on the GPUs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could nibble on a wormhole. That was not a good. That didn't make any sense. I was trying to go to the Qualcomm taking over Tenstor. That made no sense.
Oh my god.
Close enough.
Well, I didn't even get to finish my EV charging story. Because,
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, because we took an EV on a road trip that was beyond the capabilities of our EV, and so we had planned this one charging stop that was the only charging stop inside of 60 miles. And it's like worst case scenario, what every gas driver thinks that EV driving is going to be like. And by the way, when we stopped to charge, we had 48% battery. Like, we could have gone another 150 miles. Like, But that's where we were stopping, and we wanted to charge.
All these long-range EV havers.
Yeah. Also,
we have 40 miles on our Spark EV, and we like it.
Also, we make this trip twice a year.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Well, no, Jeff. You need to understand, if you're making that trip twice a year and you might be towing something, you have to buy a Ram 3500. It has to be a diesel.
A Ram Charger 3500.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. You need the most powerful thing for the one time you tow that boat that's rotting in your driveway.
Yes. Yeah.
As opposed to renting it for a day.
Yeah. So anyway, there was a 50 kilowatt charger, the only 50 kilowatt charger in a 60 mile radius, or 30 mile radius, that we were going to charge at. We were going to charge for like 20 minutes. That's all I wanted out of it. Was just enough to get an extra 100 miles of range so we could drive home without having to do whatever. I pull up to the charger, and I actually made a post about this. It was the only social media post I made all week.
I saw that, and my like soul left my body. I see those EVCS and I get very sad.
EVCS. I'm calling you out because this was absolute horseshit. Which, by the way, is I think the 4th S-bomb I've dropped in this stream, but I don't care because I've been on vacation. It's my channel. God damn it. To every EV charger that's ever been deployed, you have a card reader on the front. Let me swipe my credit card, and then you start slinging power.
Yep.
End of discussion. Every gas station pump for the last 40 years has figured this out. I give you money, you give me fuel.
But it's electrons, Jeff, so it has to be a QR code. And it has to connect to the cloud.
So rather than I take my credit card and I stick it in you, and then you go, oh, I'm going to pre-charge you $40, and then I'm going to give you whatever electrons you want, and then we'll figure out what you actually owe me in the end.
Some dispensers are into that, but some of them aren't.
Right. So
Different strokes.
This one, there's a QR code that's located on the charger itself. You can see it right here. What you have to do is you scan that QR code with your phone, you go to a website, it brings up this charger, you tell it which of the 2 ports you're going to charge from, what your payment method is, which you could subscribe to them for a 10-cent discount, or you can just pay the flat rate if you don't want to create a new user account and password and authentication, which, by the way, I would also have to enter in every single time I go to one of these chargers. This is in an area with no cell service.
I know exactly the charger you're talking about, too, and I love the oh shit Autel charger next to it. We couldn't get it to authenticate because this thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
so
which, by the way, this is a 6.5 kilowatt. This is a 50 kilowatt, but this is a 6.5.
That's a home charger you can buy on Amazon for like $200.
Yes, it is.
And someone put it there because people were complaining so much.
Yeah. But this is the only charger for 30 miles. And I'm like, I just want to give it a little quick top up. That's all I want. I want to go from 50 to 65 and call it good, or 80 and call it good. Couldn't do that because I have Google Fi, and there was no tower close enough to reach. Now, literally across the highway, I had cell service. Like, this is the east side of the highway by 100 yards. On the west side of the highway by 100 yards, I had full 5G. I had like 500 megs to my phone. This side of the highway, I had half a bar in which it took a full 2 minutes to load a blank page and said 0 kilowatts being delivered right now.
Also, before anyone here says, but I can just, gas stations don't have this problem. EVs
There's no gas station in this town either. That's the kicker.
Not only that, but when I had a 4xe, which is a plug-in hybrid, I plugged into one of those I think it was actually that exact slow charger.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. I'm like, that's weird. And I spent like 5 minutes debugging it. And I'm like, well, I need like a couple more miles of gas. I'll go get some gas.
Yeah.
So I drive over to a gas station. The power was out in that town. Or no, it must have been a different one because this town had a gas station.
Yeah.
It was in Oregon though.
Yeah.
And the power was out. And I was sitting there trying to fill up my car and I started laughing. And I'm pretty sure I looked like an insane person because I was like, oh, I can't get electrons in my car because there's no power. But I also can't pay for gas and get it to authenticate because there's no power.
Yeah.
It doesn't fix the problem.
Yeah. Do you know what's really funny? Is this wasn't even advertised, but this hotel that we went to.
Just had to flex the picture another time.
I had to flex the picture another time. This hotel that we went to, they had a 6.5 kilowatt charger.
Ooh.
That was free.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Those were always the best.
So we tried in vain to charge our car for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, screw this. We'll figure out another charger. We'll drive to Astoria tomorrow. Like, we were planning on going to Astoria anyway, and they have a Rivian 350 kilowatt charger that I've used before on my Bolt. And I'm like, we'll just go up there tomorrow, and we'll charge up there. It's not a big deal. I didn't have to charge here today, because I'm only at 48%. I have 150 miles of range. I can go back home and charge. I have enough charge still. And so, not a big deal. But we pull into the hotel, we check in, they're like, oh yeah, no, great. And we told them what car we had, and they're like, yeah, park anywhere on the property, and whatever else. We pull into the parking garage, there's 2 EV spots with a 6.5 kilowatt charger. And so I'm like, I backed in, I plugged in, we walked up to our room.
There you go.
I woke up in the morning to 100% charge.
You avoided Astoria's namesake, which is Cape Disappointment.
Yes.
That's real. That is actually the name of the Cape by Astoria.
Shipwreck Cove.
Oh yeah, Shipwreck Cove
Shipwreck
and Cape
Cove.
Disappointment.
Yes. The 2 bays of Astoria. Cape Disappointment and Shipwreck Cove. There are hundreds of ships on the mouth of the Columbia.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't know
you didn't?
that.
Oh no, the Columbia is a freaking ghost yard.
Huh.
Yeah,
that tracks.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of
Astoria was supposed to be Portland. Astoria was supposed to be Portland. And it was so treacherous to make it into that one bay that they ended up using the mouth of the Columbia and feeding you 77 miles inland because Portland was a better town.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So
saying Portland's better for anything. No, I'm kidding. I just hold my breath whenever I drive through Portland because Portland as a city hates me.
I have heard this from you.
Yes, I've mentioned this before, but every time I drive through there, something horrible happens to me or my vehicle.
Yeah. Which is funny because I've lived here my whole life and I've never had that experience.
It just hates me personally. Like a flaming tire came at me on the freeway one time. It didn't come off a car. It was just there. Someone like lit it on fire and rolled it into the highway. My i3, I was in Portland trying to charge, and that's when I discovered the BMW i3 cannot use Electrify America chargers.
Oh.
For some reason.
What?
It can use any other fast charger.
What?
But not EA. Yeah. They changed their protocol recently, and it doesn't work.
I am so confused.
You plug it in, and you hear the contactors clicking, and then it errors out.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. Is it my car? And then I looked on forums, and everyone's like, oh yeah, EA does not work with i3s since, like, 2023. It's really weird.
What?
Yep. And I use the old charger and the new one. It's not a thing. It's like maybe they lost the ID of the i3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That is really weird.
But speaking of weird things that might have a future, But I don't like them architecturally. Despite what Ian Cuttress might say, is the tense torrent wormhole.
Yes, let's go ahead and jump to that. We do need to get to our other title story, which is which is the lawsuit, which we need to do with a completely straight face when we do it. Okay. Hold on. Where is the tense torrent at? There's the canceled 007 game. There's the SpaceX stuff. Where is the? I'll find it. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, found it.
Qualcomm is a company. That's all I'll say about them. I'm not a huge fan. As a big fan of ARM devices and Linux at the same time.
Yeah.
They are not a fan of Linux, despite being the ARM company.
Yeah.
So. But Tense Torrent, Jim Keller's company.
Yes.
If you've ever watched a Tech Potato video or a what is it? What their Chips and Cheese podcast, his intro is Jim Keller. He met him at an event.
Hold on.
Cheese will comment on.
Where's it at? Hold on.
Oh, YouTube crashed for me too.
Go ahead and keep talking. But Oh, there it is. Found it. Hold on.
Oh, is it the Ian video of him saying that's Jim Keller, everyone?
No, I had to flex.
Unix.
I had to flex.
Wow. For those not in the know, Jim Keller was at Intel, right? Yeah, he was Intel. He's basically the silicon design god.
He is the silicon design god behind both the Core process and the Core I process. So everything that made Intel dominant from 2006 to 2017 was Jim Keller's brainchild. Jim Keller left Intel in 2015 to go work for AMD to develop Ryzen. Ryzen is Jim Keller's brainchild as well. Yep. So every x86 process for the last 20 years is Jim Keller.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and Jim Keller did incredible things like Xeon Phi.
I'm going to flex again because I have to.
Wow.
So that was me, Ian, and Cheese. We went to Tense Torrent. This is from Tense Torrent's corporate office. And we were interviewing their PR people and a couple others and whatnot, or Ian was. And Jim happened to walk by, and he came and sat down. And I'm going to drop a fifth one. We shot the shit with him for an hour and a half. He just stopped by, and he's like, oh, what's going on? And he's kicking back in his chair, and we're just sitting there chatting around their conference table for an hour and a half.
I told you
one of the greatest experiences of my life was shooting the shit with Jim Keller.
Yeah. I told you that at CES last year with Chips and Cheese, actually, we went to an ARM event. Yeah. And Tom Peterson happened to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Tap's a great guy.
Yes.
He was there, and I was like, I remember him in a video saying he loved coincidences. And I was like, oh, that's funny. I have a funny coincidence about Intel Itanium and the whole history of that, which I think I've talked about on this stream before when I was on last time. But I was like, man, if only I got to tell Tap. And he was there. I was also very drunk at this ARM event because it was free cocktails. And so I went over to Tap, and Cheese didn't stop me. But I told Tap my entire lore about Itanium, and Tap was just sitting there like, that's crazy. And the next day, he all but asked us, how are you guys doing after last night when we met him at the Panther Lake reveal event?
Yes. You guys okay?
Like, yeah, you guys good there? Yeah. No, he was great though. I told him about the whole how I used Itanium because I went to a school that had to use it, and then something happened.
By the way, it's 45 all. It is such a good game. I am trying so hard to stay focused, but it is such a good game right now.
Vince is getting destroyed.
Oh,
No
and
cheese.
Seattle came back and drilled a pull-up jumper of their own. Dang it.
No cheese. You're not my mother. You're I'm the one who carries your bag around.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jim Keller, absolute legend. Did they get another one?
Carla Late and one.
See, guys, if you think that Jeff is second monitor content during Talking Heads, just know that his own stream is second monitor content for him.
Yeah.
He's actually watching something else. He's not paying attention to his own.
I am listening. I am doing such a good job listening right now. I want you to know how locked in to whatever it is you're saying right now.
How locked in? Oh my God! Portland just scored again.
And she missed the and one. God dang it.
Oh no.
47 all. Couple of super chats. Maybe this will recenter us. Cosworth sends over $2. Thank you so much. Fluxer, when and what are we hosting it on?
Okay, Jeff, so we have a Matrix server for my friends and I.
Yes.
Your sister, we were trying to get her on it, but she said, and I quote, "I will wait for Jeff to special interest hard enough that he makes a Matrix server." You have not done this yet, and so Kendall is not on our server.
I both love and hate that girl.
She roasted you and complimented you in the same sentence.
That is that's so on the nose, and it so pisses me off.
Yeah, because she's like, I know that when Jeff gets activated on this, he's gonna like go all out on it. But until then, she's like, I don't want to touch it yet.
When he dials in, we will have the greatest Matrix infrastructure on the West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
But he hasn't done it yet.
He hasn't, and so she's been off our server. Because she knows she'll have two accounts if you start your own.
Yeah.
So Fluxer is a project that a guy named I forget his name, but it's on my LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. I messaged the creator of Fluxer.
Yeah.
Because I was curious. I was looking for an alternative to Discord when the whole Discord AI, scanning your messages to determine your age.
By the way, this is what I'm doing.
Ooh, nice. After I finish this, I'm actually gonna go grab I have a dragon's milk in the fridge. Yeah.
Solid choice.
It's one of the dragon's milks in the smaller bottle, but the glass ones.
Oh yeah.
But basically, Fluxer, his name is Hampus, is his name. And I messaged him on LinkedIn, and I was like, hey, Hampus, I happen to do a little bit of documentation on the side, so I'll help you out if you need any help with your self-hosting documentation. Yeah. And we started chatting, and he said, oh, that would be great. Right now, all of our infrastructure is on a single virtual machine. And they had, 100,000 users.
Yeah.
It's a great product, but it is fully vibe-coded.
Yes.
There's nothing necessarily wrong with that if you're a really good programmer, but there are a lot of security problems, whereas Matrix is used in the industry. He has promised things like Federation, which, I think he can do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Matrix has enough problems with Federation as it stands, and that's not because it's programmed badly, necessarily. That's because
it's really
hard.
difficult. Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Didn't Blue Sky have Federation and they got rid of it, or do they still have it?
No, I don't believe they still have. Yeah, Mastodon has Federation, and
yeah.
I love Fediverse stuff. I love the idea of host a piece of the infrastructure, own your piece of the infrastructure, and it's part of a larger component and shared space that we can all enjoy. I both love and hate Mastodon. I think it's a phenomenal social media platform. It didn't. If I'm being honest, the furries got to it first, and I don't mean that disparagingly. I mean...
You mean... So the people who built it, the IT people...
Also, yes.
And the cybersecurity people.
Also, yes. What I mean is, I loved the idea behind it, but the content that I was being fed was not the content that I wanted to see 100% of the time. And they were still working on discoverability. They were still working on a bunch of this other stuff. And I'm sure it's better today. But I tried to make the switch 2 years ago. And at the time, it was 80% furry content and 20% the people that I wanted to be there. And look, I'm not one to yuck anyone's yum. Cool, you do you. But if 80% of your content is devoted to one particular industry or one particular niche, and that's not the niche that I'm interested in, especially when it's slanted that far, it made it hard for adoption. It made it hard to be a platform that not only I would be on, but would recommend my users to go to.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like, Federation, I actually did a talk recently about this. And by talk, I mean 5 people at a local art collective here in town that are interested in decentralized communication. And, it was not a huge talk, but in the talk, I basically said...
By the way, every time you see me doing this, I'm checking this.
Oh, I know. I saw you doing that. Here's the thing. Federation is great, but Federation also means you are the host of everything and you are responsible for everything.
Yes.
Which is a problem. I host a Matrix server for the city that I'm in. Yes. And it has its own URL and everything, but I don't create accounts on that server for people. Yeah. Because Federation exists, I can say, go make an account on matrix.org, which is the free one, or unredacted.org, which is also free, or host your own server.
Yeah.
But the reason
I will recognize your federated account.
And you'll join into my server, and that'll be awesome. But I will not host an account, because if you send someone a DM to someone else, I now host the content in your DM.
You are now liable. And that's part of the DMCA that people don't understand.
Yep. Yeah. Because, and even if I don't know about it, technically, it's the fact that I gave people the ability to send DMs and that I'm hosting that content.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I'm not liable because I don't have it, but the federal government could come take my hard drive and seize it and not legally let me tell my users that that's happening.
Yes.
So I'd rather send that off to a bigger company like matrix.org or unredacted or whatever, who have the resources and understand the risks. Yep. You know, that's their thing. You trust them however much you want to. If you don't trust them, host your own stuff, which is the beauty of Federation.
Yes.
Because then you're responsible for your own DMs, which is already the case.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who sent it. But now it's double so, because it's actually better because you're like, well, I'm not doing anything sketchy. Awesome. You're not doing anything sketchy.
Yeah.
Don't host your own shit.
Yeah.
If you're doing something sketchy, then the feds will come after you either way, but at least that way they'll just come after you twice instead of you and the server.
Yeah, exactly. Part of, like, everyone gets on YouTube and a bunch of other companies for, oh, they took down this site because they received a DMCA complaint. Do you realize that's required by the DMCA in order to hold YouTube harmless for the content that exists on there?
Yep.
That is the agreement.
You're not liable. You're not liable as a host, but if you get a notification saying someone's doing something sketchy,
you must comply.
Yeah.
That is the requirement. Up to and including judicial requirements and seizure of hard drives or non-deletion demands and things like that. Not only can you, if you receive like a DMCA takedown request, you have to oblige it. You are not allowed to fight it, because if you fight it, you are now liable for the content, and if it is found in violation, it's not on the user, it's on you as the platform host.
If you fight it, you're saying, I know for a fact that this is not here. And so then if you don't know what the user's hosting, then fighting it is the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Yeah. And so,
because,
as much as we complain about, oh, YouTube took down this channel because of a DMCA, whether or not the company that issued the DMCA violated the DMCA terms, which has happened a lot, and I'm currently fighting on my own content from some of my content early on that used music backing tracks, which I haven't used in multiple years, but I recently had 5 videos demonetized that are using Creative Commons licenses that are properly attributed. And I lost monetization on 5 videos. I appealed them. And I even emailed the original content creator of the Creative Commons license and said, hey, this is happening. Are you aware of this? And I got no response. And I issued counter notices for every single complaint because I'm the kind of person who... I'm in the legal right here. I'm going to fight everything. I don't care if that video gets 0 views. Bullshit, are you taking my 1 cent? Yep. I will fight this to the end. Okay?
Yeah.
So, you know what? Fuck it. Let's air some dirty laundry. I used a lot of Kevin MacLeod music. Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech. A lot of people know his music, even if you don't know, you know his music. He is the theme song of Level 1 Text. He is the theme song of Simone Yacht. He is a lot of the backing tracks for Craft Computing. When I had backing tracks for a lot of my B-roll stuff, you hear him in video games, you hear him in YouTube content, you hear him all over the place because he released all of his music under Creative Commons. Which means if you say, my music comes from Kevin MacLeod, here's the website, here's the license, in the bottom of your video description, you can use it free of charge. Every single video that I've ever used any music of his, it is attributed in the video description. Okay? He's also gone through multiple attribution services. And that's the problem. Is he recently signed on one which is owned by Sony.
Yeah.
And so Sony is going through his back catalog and making music matches to every content that has ever used that. And if they're not using the Sony match platform, then they're going to strike you.
Well, it's not even like a malicious thing from Sony. It's like the default is everyone.
But it also kind of is because they're not honoring the Creative Commons license. Creative Commons is done at time of posting, not indefinitely into the future with whoever happens to hold the license. It is the time that you posted, you own the fucking license. When I posted the content, it was through another site. But today that changed. And all of a sudden I'm having my monetization stolen from some of my back catalog because Sony now holds an attribution license. But my Creative Commons license is still active. It is still valid. It is still 100% legal.
Yep. Rant alert. Yeah, Yocto. Where's the rant alert?
So.
There it is. It's legal, goddammit.
So, I have fought all of these. Which, by the way, fighting a DMCA takedown or a DMCA monetization takedown only kicks it back to the copyright holder, in this case, Sony, who says, no, we think you're
respond to you.
Who says, no, we think you're in violation still. To which case, I can either sue them over how many cents, over how many pennies are we talking about? I'm literally considering it.
You will win because they probably won't send with someone if you send them to small claims court.
I know they won't send anyone to small claims court. But do I want to send anyone to... Do I want to send Sony to small claims court, or do I want to sue them for damages on top of that? Do I want to make this class action? I'm considering it, because this is... I am goddamn pissed off that they're coming after 3 cents, but 3 cents over 20 million videos is a lot of fucking money.
All I'm saying is post this to Mastodon. The furries will back you.
Yeah.
The suspiciously wealthy furries will back you.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm back on board Mastodon. Like,
exactly.
But no, this is something that I'm dealing with in the background, and something that I shouldn't have to deal with, because I'm in the legal right. Creative Commons cannot be redacted or retracted for any circumstance. This is
the same as the bamboo thing.
It is the open. It is the AGPL that Bamboo is dealing with. You cannot retract, modify, restrict, redact anything once a license is issued. I have a license for this content. I have a license to put his music into my videos. And Sony is claiming that I have no monetization rights and has stolen monetization out of 5 videos right now.
Jeez. Wow.
And I shouldn't even give this any brain power because they're going to steal 60 cents over the next year from me. But it's the principle of the fucking thing. And it's the fact that I even issued... I said, here's the attribution. at the time of issuance, which is valid. Here is the license. It is through his website. It is still posted on his website that he uses that same goddamn attribution today. Why is this a thing? And they said, no, we don't think you have a valid license. We're gonna claim it anyway. I'm literally considering legal counsel and class action over 60 cents. I'm that fucking pissed off.
You know, I think the courts are a little tied up over a little Lego thing happening nearby to you.
It isn't the same.
Might have...
Technically...
They might have time to hear your case. All I'm saying is the corruption experienced in the Lego thing versus the furries is a battle I want to see.
Here's the thing, is they've only claimed 5 videos. However, the first 270 videos on my channel have Kevin MacLeod backing. Could I claim my entire back catalog because they've redacted the 5 videos? Could I say the potential claims are for the 270 and I want damages plus punitive damages on top of that? Could I claim $100,000 in damages? Because the future of demonetization for using music in my video hangs in the balance. Could I do that?
I feel like you should reach out to Wendell and see if he's getting similar problems, considering he uses it in every video.
Right.
And see like what he says, and I don't know if he'd join you, but you'd at least have some more fodder from him. Yeah.
There is some legal things here that I could explore that may that may be worth my time. Now the thing is, again, the videos that they've claimed, they're not getting views. But the fact that they've claimed them, and the fact that they have doubled down on a DMCA, which is in no indescript terms, not in good faith. And by the way, DMCA claims have to be issued in good faith. That is part of the legal requirement. You have to... Should I put the rant alert back on? God damn it. I thought we were done.
Yeah, you turned it off prematurely.
I did. They have to be issued in good faith. You have to know that you are making a claim against an invalid use.
Yep.
I attributed the original creator as required by the Creative Commons licensing. In no circumstance did they make a claim in good faith. Especially once I responded to all of them. I responded to all 5 with the links in the video description with an explainer that I use these off of his website with the attribution required at the time of publishing.
Well, and the other thing is like...
And they still held on to it, which means it is definitely not in good faith because you can't retract the license.
Well, this might be good for the YouTube community at large, because if it's not worth it, they'll just drop the license on the Kevin MacLeod stuff.
Yeah.
They won't care. Like, it's not worth it to them. If they're like, oh, we can't make money from this, they'll just drop it. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah said, if a rant lasts more than 4 hours, see a doctor.
I always love those little commercials. If the effects last more than 4 hours, call a doctor. What, to brag?
Yeah. To brag. Hey, man. I'm having...
Dude, it's still working. Do you want a picture? Hold on.
On that note, I need to get another beer. How about you?
What's funny is the next transition is to blacked.com.
Oh, is that the... Oh, yes.
That's our title story.
The federal... Do you want to bring that up? Here, you bring it up and explain it while I grab a beer.
You grab another beer.
I'll come back and comment.
I'm going to finish my second beer, but I will bring this up, yes.
Hell yeah.
So, if that story wasn't fun enough, there's this story right here. 404 Media is covering this, which, by the way, hashtag not sponsored. 404 Media is the only news site that I pay for. I pay for them willingly out of pocket because they actually still do journalism. If you care about free and independent journalism, subscribe to 404 Media. Hashtag 404 Media, please sponsor me. Anyway, a federal court has ruled that blacked.com, which, if you're not familiar with that website, hosts, shall we say, adult content. Judge rules... Who am I kidding? You all know who blacked.com is. Judge rules that Blacked.com can sue Meta / Facebook for scraping its porn for AI training fodder. This is very similar to the training fodder situation with the archive.org book repository, where social media pages scraped the repositories of Creative Commons and expired text novels, as well as current copyright-held books that are in publication today. They scraped their content for AI training. It's kind of illegal, right? Like, we all agree, if we're going to fight one side of the DMCA, we have to fight the other side of the DMCA, which is that copyrights are valid for, 95 years at this point? 95 years after the death of the author?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank Disney for that.
Yeah, thank you, Disney. Thank you, Captain Mouse. Which is hilarious because Steamboat Willie is now in Creative Commons, and have you played the Steamboat Willie shooter yet?
I've heard of it. I've not played it, but yes.
We covered it a couple years ago because it was in development while the copyright was still being held. They released it the day after the copyright dropped.
Hell yeah.
Yes!
The irony too is that Disney's founding was based on a copyright problem.
Yes.
With the rabbit. I forgot the name of the rabbit. What was the rabbit's name? A Disney rabbit guy.
I'm literally searching that term right now.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Oswald, yeah.
Thanks, Bing AI.
Did you know Family Guy made a joke about this in one of their earlier episodes, like season 1, season 2? I think it was season 1. All in favor of Bugs Bunny, raise your hand, and the whole boardroom raises their hand. And then they said, all in favor of Ephraim, the R-word rabbit. And Peter's grandfather raises his hand.
Oh,
and he's looking around the table and he goes, "Oh, you can all go to hell." Walks out of the room.
Sounds about right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Also, I don't think you should show that entire article.
Yeah, no.
I love the IP ranges A to F with the following titles, and then it lists some interesting ones.
Look, we know YouTube's algorithms aren't that great, so
I'll just go ahead and
show it on screen.
Yeah. Technically,
if I can swear on my channel, after the first 60 seconds, I can show this. I can't say those words. Do not repeat those words. Do not say them on stream. Do not put it as part of the transcript. I do love the reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right in the dead center of it all.
That tracks. Have you ever heard of, Wordle, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a thing
What is chat
called
doing right now? Hold on.
Rule 34.
Oh, God.
Which is a thing where you guess which one of the two characters has more Rule 34 images tagged under them. It is so hilarious. I'm gonna put this in Craft Computing chat. It's not in SFW by default. It's just anime characters and random stuff.
Right.
You should go
You're
there.
You're just guessing on a number. You're guessing the over/under on a number.
It shows you. So right now I have Caesar Zappelli versus Uni from Xenoblade. Caesar Zappelli has 2,207 posts, and Uni has 1,400. I lost. Yeah. Rule 34 Fordle is the best page ever. And it is surprising how many fandoms have so much of what content. Is your YouTube rep yelling at you?
No. YouTube rep? What's that? That was the thing I should have gotten when I hit 100,000 subscribers that they did away with, and they said, "Good luck, fuckers," to everyone on the way out. Yeah.
Anyway, I posted it in. I'll post it in Talking Heads. I posted it in Craft Computing.
Yes.
There we go. That's the site. You should do at least one of those. Maybe in the after party. My favorite one.
I got the first question wrong.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? and then like Pokemon will show up, and you're like,
I literally got a Pokemon for my second one.
and you're like, this is an obscure ass Pokemon. This cannot have this. And then it's like, no, that had like 3,000 posts about it.
Oh God. Hold on. I'm gonna have to screenshot this one so I can share it because it's in Chrome, and if I close Chrome, I'm not gonna get it back. So hold on.
I got DuckTales versus a character from Fate and DuckTales 1.
I literally got the same one. Hold on.
Oh yeah. I think DuckTales had slightly less. I don't know.
That is so concerning that it's that close.
Yeah.
Okay. 1528, 2241. But there's 1528 of DuckTales.
Yeah. 1,500 images of DuckTales on our and all of this to say, Meta can't take this data anymore.
No.
So is that your new favorite site, Jeff?
I just got Jenny Bell as a Minecraft mod or King Boo from Mario.
Oh no. The Minecraft ones always win for some reason, which also just
the problem is King Boo has been around for a long time.
I don't know, you guess, Jeff.
Minecraft
guess
wins.
which one?
Minecraft wins.
Yeah, that terrifyingly doesn't surprise me.
4-1 Minecraft wins.
Oh god. Oh wow. Yeah.
Dingo Dial from Crash Bandicoot or Lois Griffin from Family Guy?
It's got to be Lois.
It's got to be Lois Griffin.
Yeah. That one. Yeah. 5,000 versus 1,000.
682, 5,600.
Yeah.
I love that I'm playing this in the background and no one cares or listens.
Oh, someone said you effed. Uh-oh.
What?
Did you F? Rev said F. No, you're still live.
What?
Rev, your internet shut itself.
I think that's your internet.
Blame Comcast.
Yeah. Novella
Anyway,
Novella said F.
Oh, Novella said F.
Yeah. No, we're live.
Yeah. I'm glad I showed you your new favorite website, Jeff.
I both love and hate this.
Like, it does not take a lot of effort to make a site like this because it's just comparing two values that are near each other.
Yeah.
But, like, the amount of code to make this website was probably basically nothing.
Yeah.
And yet here
we are.
Here we are, and the implications of every single one of these decisions is hilarious. Yeah.
I'm going to call out Cheese. Just look at a number of posts Latias has. It's a number.
Oh, no. Yeah, certain Pokemon get quite popular. Let's just say that.
Love you, Cheese, but you commented it publicly, so it's fair game.
Yeah, Cheese, I don't know why you know that. That's my question.
Right.
Why do you know
that's a
that?
question. Yeah. That didn't even come up on my prompt. Like,
yeah. I mean, I didn't know you could load that website on your 100 megabit network connection, but, you know, that Switch doesn't have a lot of power.
Yeah. Anyway, this is all to say that a judge has ruled that, yes, if a corporation downloads a whole bunch of your Pr0N, they could be liable for copyright infringement because they don't have legal rights to use that material in the way that they are.
Well, you know, any media, if you can copyright anything,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what's happening in the video or, you know, whether or not it's a crudely drawn Pokemon character in the video. That it's still copyright.
It's still copyright infringement.
It's all copyright material.
Now there is fair use, and there is like fanfic is an allowed form of fair use, regardless of the circumstances. If you wanted to draw Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse in whatever situation entails. As there are like tiers of like use of marketing and money making and public facing entities. And is it written or is it visual? Is it distributed? Is it whatever else?
Jeff, if LLMs are basically, does that mean LLMs are basically fanfic generators?
Yeah.
Could you make that argument, like legally? That
the thing is, if they're still trained illegitimately, but I've also made the argument, and I actually created a playlist of op-eds and other things I'm going to regret on YouTube. Okay?
Oh, like takes that you've said?
Takes that I've said and full videos that I've produced of my opinions that might be against the grain and might come back to bite me, but this is the opinion I have at this time. And the first one, I made the playlist because of my very first AI published video. Because
every time Jeff talks about switching to Mac OS, he's adding that in there.
I'm on a Mac Mini M4 right now. Yeah. I'd be on a Mac Studio right now, but someone hasn't shipped it out yet.
Yeah, I know. I sold Jeff my Mac Studio, and I forgot I had to transfer my data off of it. So, you know, slight issue.
Yeah, transformative work is a thing, is a standard is a threshold of, is it a viable product that you can sell? And so, yeah, there's a whole systematic approach of what defines a transformative work and what defines this and what defines that. I had a point. Where did it go? Hold on. I had a point. What was I saying?
That AI is transformative.
AI transformative.
Yeah.
My very first piece to that playlist was AI generated art. Was because this was like 3, maybe 4 years ago, that there were a whole bunch of programs that were coming out, and they were very popular on Twitter. Hey, upload 20 selfies of yourself and get back superhero poses and sci-fi portraits and caricatures and all these other things. And all of a sudden, everyone was adding it to their profiles. In fact, if you go to my my Blue Sky page, hold on, where's mine at? There it is.
Blue space.
Sorry, I was trying words difficult. My profile picture is still one of those AI generated images from 4 years ago, in which I made this video about. This is the crux of this video.
See, Jeff is an AI slop tuber. Everyone should, you know.
I just like the image.
Yeah,
I think it's a good caricature.
Yeah.
It was my hairstyle at the time. It's got the accentuated beard. My beard was a little long in that selfie, and so it actually had like the hangout and what. I like the image. I think it's a good image. That image was not done by a person. That image was fully AI. And I kind of don't care. Why? At the time, we weren't draining reservoirs to do this. Like, and transformative work. This work might be in the style of someone else, and it might have been trained on the artistry of some artist, but this work is unique.
Yeah.
And if you're just the kind of person who's gonna crap out 70 images and call it unique and call it artistry, I disagree with you. However, artists are born out of transformative work. Artists are born being inspired by the artistry of artists and creating their own art in whatever content or style that they want. And at some point, what is the line? What is the line? The line wasn't defined when I made this video 3 years ago. What is the line between training an AI to interpret the artwork of 100 different artists that have come before me and spitting out something new based on a photo that I upload, or learning to draw myself and going through years and years of training in order to generate this artwork that I want? What's the line?
Can I show you the other end of that line? Have you heard of Veggie Love Island?
Look, I've seen
I sent it in craft computing chat. It is a fully AI generated Love Island ripoff.
I've seen the RPG.
Yeah.
Not this one, but I've seen the create any character in any situation in a playable RPG. I've seen that ad come up quite a few times. Particularly scrolling Reddit, I get that one. Where's the line? I don't know that we can define it, and that's the problem. And look, that makes me who I am, and that's what makes me interesting. Is I bring nuance into everything. I bring both sides of the argument, and I understand both sides of the argument. Look, Zeus, you're about as old as my marriage license is, but in your 25 to 30-ish years, I'm not going to give you your exact age. In your 25 to 30-ish years, what have you developed? What skills have you learned? And what art are you producing on your own? And how long did that take? And what is the number one?
Over 1,000 of the Lugia Rule 34 were actually me. I drew those.
What is the number one question you ask an up-and-coming artist? Who was your inspiration?
Yeah.
Look, I also don't like the fact that we're burning reservoirs to the ground to make AI slop. I also don't like that, but I also don't know where that line is, and no one's been able to define it. And I see both sides. And while I have said I don't agree in slinging out AI slop into the world and calling it unique and derivative work, I also agree that AI is a tool that can be used in creating unique and derivative work.
Yeah.
And whether it's written or artistry or visual or video or creative or coding or whatever else, where's the line? Is it okay that I code from an LLM versus it's not okay if I create a Van Gogh-inspired painting of myself?
Everyone always says, like, oh, I won't use a program if it's not programmed by hand and it's AI slop and Claude is involved in the Git repo. Every program is like that. Linux is like that now.
Where's the line? You can't define it. So does the line exist? Well, that's my point.
Just because something has AI behind it doesn't mean there's not a smart person behind it. And what I say by that is, like, Linus Torvalds is still the arbiter of the kernel, right? If someone pushes a PR that has AI slop in it, he can still reject that.
Yeah.
But he's also using AI to create things, and, like, so are you. It's like, just because, but you also are like, hey, do not deploy this publicly. This is AI generated. This works for what its purpose is.
I talked with Vince about this last week when he was on the show. I recently deployed very quietly as a silent update to my VPN gateway, which is a very popular tutorial that I've done on YouTube. And look, 24 stars on GitHub, not a ton of stars, but 24 people have started. 3 people have forked it. Like, that's a number, right? My original tutorial is this. It's all written by hand. It is things that I've done with the Ubuntu firewall, with the OpenVPN protocol, with a whole bunch of other things that allow you to connect to a commercial VPN service like NordVPN or GhostVPN or whoever the other ones are. Anyone that you want to connect to that supports OpenVPN, and create a tunnel for any other device that doesn't support the protocol openly. And it's invisible to the end client. Now, I had a problem because recently my NordVPN tunnel has been crashing and has no restart mechanism. And it also has a kill switch on it. So when the VPN dies, my traffic dies. There's no packets that are sent out of band.
And you only block the VPN if they're running on BSD, just to annoy Vince. But other than that, you're allowing them to work.
Yeah.
But
I had a problem that I needed to solve, and I didn't have the tools to be able to solve it. I needed a watchdog service. I needed a service that could detect if the VPN had crashed and automatically restart it. Now, I didn't want to just do a ping service that at the first dropped ping would automatically restart the service. That's easy to do, but that's also a pain in the ass, because how often do you drop one random ping and then I'm going to, restart my server just because of that? No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Let's give it a 3-minute timeout, because that's pretty reasonable. And so if a ping dies, we're going to ping 3 times a minute every 60 seconds. And if I fail 3 of those attempts in a 3-minute time period, we're going to restart the service. Mm-hmm. That seems reasonable. I prompted this to ChatGPT and generated code and a service that would do this. Now, I went through and hand verified all of this. Now, these instructions were partially coded by ChatGPT, but verified by me. I put that disclaimer in the very top of this file, but this is a publicly facing file that I vibe coded.
You also, here's the other thing. You knew what to ask.
I also knew what to ask.
Yeah. And you knew what to ask.
Right.
And you knew how to upload it to get, like, there are so many steps in there when people are like, oh, this is AI slop, this is all that. Yes, it's possible to do that, but it's usually pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But it requires so much background knowledge. And the other thing is like, yes, I'm perfectly capable of creating a PR and publishing it and all that, but also Cowork can do it in like 2 seconds. I don't have to think about it.
Right.
You know? Like, that's better, but also, well, now that tokens are getting so expensive, that's not going to be a thing as much anymore. My employer recently told us to lay off the token use, which I won't disclose who I work for, but that should be concerning.
Yes.
Yeah, they...
Oh, suddenly there's a cost associated. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because it should have replaced all developers. And all of a sudden they're telling developers to stop using AI because it's not efficient enough at replacing developers.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one thing I find really funny, it's also like when AI first came out, people were talking about it as like, they were using the ones that didn't think.
Yeah.
You know, the original GPTs did not think.
Yeah.
They didn't look at their previous, what they were spitting out and think about it. They were just giant Markov chains that spat out slop at you.
Yeah.
And that's all they did. Modern ones, they process, they like look at their own stuff, but that takes so much more processing power.
Modern ones are pretty darn competent, but it also requires so much more inference that it's not economically viable anymore.
Yeah.
And so, like, look, I've used this. I've used it very sparingly. People have accused me of using AI in my scripts because I said a word wrong a couple of weeks ago, and that just pissed me right the fuck off, because I've never used AI in a script, Jeff, nor will I ever.
It makes me so happy whenever I see the top comment of a video is someone lightly roasting you, and you have pinned it and then responded to it, surgically dissecting it, because I know it struck a chord.
The most recent one that I did, someone said, "Oh, the pin of cringe has returned." That was my favorite response.
Yes. That was really good.
But here's the thing, it's like, I know what I'm about, and I'm also just a person, but I'm also a person who puts a lot of passion into what I do. And calling me a slop architect, fuck right off with that. Like, please.
Yeah.
I am a person who lives by the mantra, when it comes to creative works, words have meaning. That is one of my favorite 3-word phrases, because I take that so to heart in everything that I do, in personal interactions, in creative endeavors. The words that you use have so much more meaning than you possibly realize in the moment.
Yeah.
It comes back to how I create content, how I create tutorials, and how I meet people on an even ground. I create a lot of tutorials that are very beginner focused, but also very expansive towards whatever endeavor you have. And I use what I call the Penn and Teller method. The reason I call it that is go and watch an episode of Fool Us. Penn and Teller Fool Us. It's been on the air for like 10 years.
I think I've seen that.
It is Penn and Teller who host a show that they invite magicians onto a stage, and the magicians perform a trick. And the goal is to fool Penn and Teller. How did we do that? How did that magician pull off that trick? Okay? Now, the way the show goes is it needs to hold an air of mystery around it as well. Is because they don't want to tell the audience exactly how the trick was done, because that pulls all the air of mystery out of the magic, and that makes the magic no fun. So how do we make it fun for the audience and make it engaging and also communicate the meaning through words? What is happening?
Yep.
That method is very, very simple. Is they talk in code. They use very specific language. They go they'll have a magician do a trick in which they'll like have a ring. They'll like have a ring. I'm gonna make this ring disappear. They'll put a cloth over the ring, and then they'll the ring is gone. Right? Okay. Now Penn and Teller, they know exactly how that trick was done. And if they go, oh, you hid the ring in the cloth and you pulled it away and then you pocketed it, and they have a whole thing on the 7 tricks of magic. Hide, disappear, fool, misdirect, etc. Like they have a whole series on that.
Yeah.
But what they will do is the magician does the trick, and then Penn and Teller will talk about it for a couple minutes, and then they'll have to interview the magician while he's live on stage. And they'll say, I'm not exactly sure how this trick was done. It's a really great performance. I love what you did, but you really pulled the wool over our eyes on that one. And the pull the wool over the eyes is the thing to focus on. Because if the magician knows what they're talking about, you didn't fool them. Okay?
Yeah.
However, also, the flip side of that is they just gave you the exact Google search term to look up to find out how that trick was done. It is all maintaining that level of mystique and wonder and everything else. And if you want to find out how it was done, magician blank wool over our eyes, you will get the exact book and passage and thing that they pulled out, and it goes, oh yeah, no, in this particular trick you take the whatever covering it is traditionally made out of wool, and you did this and that, and the audience still gets the sense of wonder, but everyone on stage knows exactly what's happening. And that is the exact level of communication that I love. Because it takes everyone from beginner to absolute expert, and it puts them on the exact same plane.
Yeah. This reminds me of, have you heard of something called the solid snake method of conversation?
Yes.
This reminds me of that, where it's like, the solid snake method of conversation, for those who are not aware, is
it's very simple.
If you want to avoid awkward silences and keep the other person talking, just repeat the last thing they said, but as a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they say, "Oh, I had a crazy day today," you just say,
"What was crazy about your day?"
Yeah, exactly.
Your day was crazy.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
your day was crazy. What was crazy about your day? And then it'll get them going. It's like, "Oh, you had blah 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 happen. What was blah blah blah?" Like that's all you have to say.
Yeah.
And it's like those are like coded ways of getting more information out of someone. And those are used in like politicking, not politics per se, but politicking, getting people to talk.
It's used in exposition, it's used in stories, it's used in exfiltration of data. Yeah.
Now, it doesn't work with really autistic people because they're like, why are you asking me the question?
Yeah. That's a little probing. That's personal. That's
probing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this didn't work.
I didn't have a follow-up to this. I just, just said crazy day. My day wasn't that crazy. I stayed in bed all day. Like, what the
Yeah. Exactly. That's the autism response.
Yeah. Oh God, I didn't prepare for this. This isn't in the script.
And same with magic too. It's like you do a magic thing, and if someone is like turbo interested enough, they're like, no, you can't fool me. I'm gonna figure out how you did this.
Yeah. One of my favorite. This is so off topic. We'll get back. God, what was the? Oh God, there's a particular trick. I'm trying to remember the magician's name. He came on to Penn and Teller Fool Us, and Bo
Burnham. No.
Book trick. Hold on. Sean Farquhar. I was gonna say Farquaad, but that's Shrek. That's something different. I knew it started with an F, and it was
Farquaad.
Yeah, Farquhar. Sean Farquhar. He came on to Penn and Teller, and he did a trick, and he had Allison on stage, and he said, "I've memorized this book, front to cover, every word, every paragraph, everything. You can ask me any question about this book that I have in my hand, and I will answer exactly. So give me a random page number." Okay? And by the way, he also gave her a copy of the book. He goes, "Here's your book." He goes, "Here's your book. Flip to any page, any paragraph, any word, any sentence. Ask me to recite it." And they stood back to back. And she goes, "How about page 53, second paragraph?" And he goes, "Oh, page 53. And he's standing back to back with her. But he puts on a pair of glasses. So he's like, "Oh yeah, page 53. That's one of my favorites. Hold on." And he puts on his glasses. And he goes, and he pulls out a book from his jacket. And he goes, "Page 53. Yeah, it starts the fall of the Roman civilization, blah, 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 blah. And if you go down further in the pages, blah, blah, blah. That's really amazing, isn't it?" And he puts everything away. And then he turns around and he goes, "That was really cool, wasn't it? Oh, try another one. Try another." And she goes, "Oh, page 74. And he goes, "Oh, page 74. That's another great one. It starts blah, 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 blah. Second word is the, but the whole time the audience is watching him like fool her, like read the book and everything else, and whatnot. And they go through like 2 or 3 or 4 rounds of that. And she's starting to catch on. She goes, "You're moving an awful lot behind me." He goes, No, I'm just excited. I'm just, blah, blah." And they get to the final one, and she turns around and she goes, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, Oh, this book. No. My pages are blank." And he flips through the book, and the pages are legitimately blank. And then they get to Penn and Teller, and they go, "Okay, so you obviously you're doing something. We're guessing it's with the glasses. We're guessing there's like a mirror finish on your glasses. You're reading the book from over her shoulder. You're taller than her. It's really easy to do." He goes, "Oh, no. There's no lenses in these glasses." And he pokes his fingers through the lenses.
Ooh, that's clever. That's clever.
It's so good.
You know, sometimes I always wonder if like someone just went through the effort of memorizing the entire book just to fuck with someone, or if it's like, yeah, obviously there's a something we're not aware of.
Yeah.
But I think it would be funnier if they went through the manual method of just memorizing the whole thing.
By the way, he fooled Penn and Teller twice in a row. He came back years later and he did a card trick for Penn and Teller. By the way, both of these are on YouTube. They're some of the best. If you want to see Penn Jillette pissed off beyond all reason, go watch Sean Farquhar. Yeah,
I looked him up. His name is spelled terribly.
Yeah, Farquhar.
Yeah. Guess what he is? He won first place at a tournament.
Hand magic. Close-up card magic.
Yes.
Yes.
For IBM. International Brotherhood of Magicians.
Oh, okay, yeah. That IBM. Yeah.
Not that IBM.
Yeah.
I saw IBM, I'm like, what? What the hell?
Yeah, no, he won the world championship for up-close card magic. Like,
damn.
There's like a 5-hand of people who are like good with cards. I think Penn is 4th on that list, and Sean is above him.
Damn.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
Oh gosh, who's the blind guy? They had a blind musician. Gosh.
If blind musician, I know who you're talking about. Blind magician, I have no idea.
Richard Turner. Richard Turner.
Ah, okay.
If you want to see something incredible, watch Richard Turner. This is way off topic though.
I was watching this guy related to this. I was watching this guy who he just started a podcast.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know what to do on our podcast. And so in the middle of his podcast, they were interviewing Meat Canyon. You familiar with who Meat Canyon?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They were interviewing Meat Canyon, and they were like, Meat Canyon, it was a fine interview. It was like, kind of casual. And they were like, fuck it, we're bringing in the magician. And they brought in the guy, and then there was a 10-minute segment in the middle. Like, imagine a Talking Heads episode, and then you just brought in a magician and had him do a thing.
Right.
For 10 minutes.
If I could get Richard or Sean on this show, I would put 30 minutes of them in the middle of a Talking Heads episode.
We should have your audience vote. Guys, we already go on tangents on this show.
Yeah.
Do you want a magician to show up on this show?
Yeah.
And do a whole segment that is straight up just a magic act?
Yeah. Richard Turner, as John points out, has a great documentary. I've watched the documentary. Richard Turner had full sight until he was about 30, and then he had a degenerative disease that took his vision away. But he was already into card magic, and so he wanted to continue that. So he figured out how to do card magic without sight.
Ooh.
The dude's insane. So what he will do, the coolest thing that I've seen him do multiple times is, hey, do you like to play Hold'em? Let's play a game of Hold'em. How many players? And I will guarantee you win. And so you'll go, we'll do a 6-player table. And he goes, okay, let's deal out 6 players. Here's your cards. And then we'll do the flop, the turn, and the river. Everyone show their cards. And he flips over all 6 pairs of cards, including your card. And you have pocket aces with 2 aces that came up in the deck on the table. And this guy's got a king and a 4, this guy's got a queen and a 7, believable hands. But he goes, no, you're my buddy. Okay, now how many players? Okay, 4 players. And he'll take all the cards from the table. He will collect them, reshuffle them. And he goes, now how many players? He goes, 4 players. And he goes, I want player 2 to win this time. He goes, okay. Boom, player 2 wins. He hits it 100% out of the time.
Wow.
You can give him a deck of cards, and he'll do that.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
You're like, he put Braille on the cards or whatever.
This is not his deck.
One. Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah. Magicians are... It's just a different...
It's a different breed. It's
a different breed.
Yeah.
If you're a furry, you go into cybersecurity. If you're a different type of autism, you become a magician.
Yeah.
I
became a musician first, and then later transitioned into tech. So
yeah, there you go. I
am a clarinetist.
You play clarinet?
I do.
Okay. I used to play clarinet for a while.
Did
you? I had a clarinet. I played clarinet for 3 years. I used the same reed for 3 years.
You can do that if you're good, but not if you're bad.
I was terrible. This is in middle school. I just wanted to
again, words have meaning, and I love calling people out like that.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I was that was terrible. I used the same reed. It started cracking, and I was like, well, if I put my mouth at a certain angle, it can still make sound.
Yeah.
Because I was too cheap to tell my parents that I needed to buy a new reed.
Yeah.
It'll get splinters. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep. I was down. The only people more anal about reeds than clarinet players are oboe players.
Yeah. My fiance is an oboe player.
Yeah, double reeds.
I don't know if she played oboe, but she played a wind instrument.
Yeah. So oboe and bassoon players, the double reeds, they're beyond obsessive, and I get it. As a clarinet player, I get it. I had fine grit sandpaper for sanding my reeds down to the exact strength and resonance that I wanted, and still 2 out of 10 would make my okay to play in an orchestral setting scenario. 1 out of 30 would make my I'm a soloist. And that's after fine tuning them.
She was viola and flute.
Okay.
Okay. So the non-reeded instrument.
Okay, yeah, double reeds are a pain in the ass, as she says. Yes. But no, saxophone. What's funny about saxophone is even though like a soprano sax is almost identical to a clarinet reed, the reeds are so much less important to the vibrance of the sound. I can pull 3 different reeds out of a pack on clarinet and get 3 completely different sound profiles. And if it's not the sound profile you're going for, or if it's not responsive enough for the way you play, it's out. It's a practice read at best. Yeah. Not the sax reads aren't important, but they're not nearly as important as clarinet reads. I could play because I used to tell people the list of instruments I don't play is shorter than the list of ones that I do. So I did all of the single reed instruments. And I'm not just talking, I played alto and tenor and clarinet. No, I played soprano, alto, tenor, bari. I played E flat clarinet, B flat clarinet. B flat's the one that you know. E flat's the one that you don't know, which is a third smaller. There's also alto clarinet, which I own an alto clarinet. There's bass clarinet. There's E flat contrabass. There's B flat contrabass clarinet. I played all of them. I didn't play the double reeds. I could never do oboe and bassoon. I couldn't get the embouchure quite right. But I also play brass, not including trumpet, or French horn. I couldn't do French horn, but I could do baritone, tuba, trombone.
Could I piss off everyone by saying because I played bari sax, I played brass?
That's not a brass.
Because they're made of brass, but they're reed.
That's a woodwind.
No, I know, but it would piss everyone off if I said it was brass.
You would piss everyone off because you're incorrect. Words have meaning. You're producing sound from wood. You're a woodwind.
So Jeff, let me ask you this: as I want to mention this one story just because we started on this and we never finished it.
Yes. How
many reeds do you think you could buy with the valuation of SpaceX right now?
The funny thing is, synthetic reeds towards the end of when I was seriously playing and contemplating going professional. In fact, I had offers. I had college. I had full ride scholarship offers coming out of high school.
Damn.
I had offers for cruise ships and regular stays. Gosh, what's the word for regular performance? Mine's wrong.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway, I had regular offer. I had an offer from a cruise ship. I had a couple of offers from different orchestras around to play professionally, and I gave it up. And the reason I gave it up was I kind of wanted to be a music teacher, but then I thought back to all the music teachers that I had growing up and learning this. And I realized that all of them had been in that position for 40 years. And also music teachers are the very first things that were cut, which means if I was able to land a job, I would move to wherever bum nowhere town was hiring a music director and also be the first on the chopping block every single year.
I mean, you'd end up in a place like Salem, Oregon. You wouldn't want to be there.
Right. And I decided early on that's not the life that I wanted to live. I didn't want my job to dictate where I wanted to live. I wanted to live where I wanted to live. And I went, that's probably not going to be the profession I want to take. Even though I'm good, even though I would make it and would make it a career, it's not the direction I wanted my life to go. And amazing foresight for someone who was 21 years old. like with all the options in the world for the dream profession that they had worked their entire life for, to go, you know what, that's not the direction I want to go. And I can still be a musician. I can still play professionally. And in fact, I did. I played in bands and things like that. Right after, towards the tail end of high school, I picked up guitar and bass and gravitated towards bass and played bass professionally until I was 30. And still had a blast doing it, but for local bands and for local things and events that I would be able to sign for locally, but still be able to do a job. Midway through college, I decided to flip over to IT because I'm like, I'm also good with computers. I might as well do that. And that I can go anywhere I want. I'm not going to be dictated where I need to live to be able to do this job.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when I was 21, I was, I don't know what I was doing. I was in the craft computing Discord server. That was a crazy place. Sorry, I just killed Jeff.
Am dead. God
You were saying, yeah. You switched to IT. And...
Switched to IT, and yeah.
Yeah. So you could buy at least 10 reads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The cool thing is, toward the end of when I was playing somewhat professionally on clarinet and other instruments, is synthetic reeds were making a huge stride.
Because what are they made of normally?
They're made of.
It's not bamboo.
It's not bamboo. It's a very lightweight, fast growing, single direction grain wood. Similar. It's not bamboo, but it's very similar. I'm literally drawing a blank right now. But
I just go to Home Depot and get one of those what are they called, the flooring pieces, and I chop that up, and that's a couple reeds that lasts a while. The snap together wood floorboards.
Cane. They're made from cane.
It's cane. Sugar cane. Oh yeah. Huh, okay.
Yeah. So again, vertical stalks, aligned grain.
Yep. Also, yes.
Like I said, there are synthetic and polycarbonate reeds that I did use. I used those a lot in marching band and like marching shows and things like that, because you can get them really loud. They're not necessarily accurate, but they responded really well. And so if you're trying to do a lot of double tonguing stuff and things like that, they are very quick at that, even if they're not the best sound.
Yeah.
So, but the articulation is more important there.
Yeah. Something. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Articulation is important, but the double tonguing is way more effective.
I've been married 20 years. I have a talented tongue. What can I say?
That's why Jeff's been married for 21 years.
Get good, boys.
Oh no!
I'll fully own the joke.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You slap the bass, Craft Claypool. I'm a Schecter fan myself.
Claypool.
Plastic Splinter,
Wow.
so much fun. I have cut my tongue on a synthetic reed before. That was no fun. That puts you out of commission for a week or two at a time. Yeah. Yeah. What were we talking about?
I think it was SpaceX.
Jesus, the twists and turns that conversation took.
It
started with your VeggieTale porn post.
No. It was Veggie AI slop.
Yes.
Yes, and then
It was the ethics of AI, VeggieTale porn. Because we started on Blacked.com being able to sue Meta for AI porn.
Yes.
And we still wound up with synthetic porn, or with natural porn.
So speaking of AI slop, I just burnt at least 3 gallons of fresh water in Arizona to give you this information from Claude. A Vandoren reed is apparently the highest quality reed.
Vandoren,
okay. A Vandoren reed.
And those are what I used.
Okay, a box of 10 runs about $31.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. It was 20 back when I was playing, but yeah, 30, 35 sounds about right.
Okay. So, for the valuation of SpaceX, you could buy 322 billion reads.
Okay, cool.
And for the amount of revenue
of those, I might get about 1 billion that are actually playable. I'm not kidding.
Damn. Really?
I'm not kidding.
1 read per 300?
My ratio was about 30-1 of soloist quality reads.
Huh.
And that's
Goddamn.
that is with like whetstoning some of them.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Huh. I must have gotten a really high quality read then, because I used that thing for like 5 freaking years.
I did have reads that were practice reads that were not necessarily like performance quality, but were also so freaking resilient that I did have practice reads that I used for 2 or 3 years at a time.
Damn.
But soloist reads, the ones that I would use for performances, for I'm on stage, I'm the focus, this is the sound, the exact quality, the responsiveness, the everything else that I need, was a 1 in 30.
It says,
And those would last for about 3 weeks.
okay. Yeah, apparently if you bought that many reeds, you could reach nearly 60 times the distance from Earth to the moon. If you bought that many reeds for the valuation of SpaceX.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
that
further
sounds
than
about
they're
right.
going to get, so.
So they were denied entry into the S&P 500, but they were allowed entry into the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
And so far they have done well
Plus
for
19.
for the last couple days. So the world didn't burn while you were in on the beach.
Yeah.
But it got very close.
I was kind of hopeful, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I feel like everyone wants to see those companies, like Musk's companies, fail so badly that everyone realizes that everyone's going to be shorting them, and so they then increase in value.
That's exactly right. There's so many
Yeah.
people shorting on AI that it actually increases the value and inflates the bubble more. It is a bubble. Name me one company that has more than $2 billion in revenue because of AI. Revenue.
Yeah.
Money brought in, not money spent. Revenue. Name me one. It doesn't exist.
I know one. Craft Computing Logistics LLC.
We're not AI powered.
Hey, you're making more money than every AI company ever made.
I mean, I kind of am.
How does that make you feel? Your cash flow
Like my
positive.
tax liability should be a lot fucking lower.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you're not writing off enough things.
Yeah.
Because that will give you positive money.
Yeah, I should have just bought the camera because it's a write-off, right?
So actually,
And we're back to square one.
Exactly. You'll love this as our last thing because it's 9:05. You'll appreciate this. My grandpa called me today.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, happy birthday, blah blah blah." And knowing my grandpa, he's the kind of guy who like he'll call you and he's like, "Oh, how you doing? Whatever." He really wants to talk about business,
Yeah.
right? He's in his 90s. He has a muscular degenerative disorder, so he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But the rare disorder that he has makes it so he cannot get Alzheimer's or dementia.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, no one who has ever had this disorder has ever gotten dementia or Alzheimer's. So
Weird.
despite being 90 years old, 92, I think, he is fully there.
That was my great-grandpa to the bitter end.
Yeah.
My great-grandpa lived to 94, went through
damn.
quadruple bypass surgery, and was still flirting with the nurses on his way in.
My grandpa did the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was doing the same thing. And he called me today, and of course, he's like, "Oh, happy birthday, whatever." And he's like, "Let's talk about how your business stuff is doing."
Yeah.
And we're chatting, and he's like, "Yeah, when I used to, own my own plane, after buying the plane, when accounting for depreciation, I ended up with more money in my pocket at the end of the tax season than I did when I bought the plane." And I was like, "That's crazy. That kind of sounds like fraud, but the IRS never got to you,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter."
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
Everyone craps on the LTT, bought a private jet. No, that's a sound business investment. If you've got $5 million in disposable cash, buy yourself an asset that can be used by you and is going to offset your expenses for otherwise, mundane travel. Hey, we're flying to Taipei.
Yeah.
And we're taking 12 people. That would be how many first class tickets versus we could just fly our jet for the same price. Like, it makes financial sense at that point, and it's just $5 million that's held in an asset that's not really going to depreciate. Also, you can lease that asset when you're not using it. Mm-hmm. That's
And make more money
revenue
from
coming
that.
in. That's money that would normally be sitting there earning 3% in a CD account that you can't touch anyway, versus now is an asset that you can earn revenue on.
This is why LTT now has a CEO and not Linus.
Correct. Yeah.
Because
so for
they
everyone,
are making...
no one understands that level of business. No one who's, because his target demographic is 15 to 25. No one understands that.
And they should, for their target demographic...
I'm also not making fun of that or making light of that. That's his target demographic, and it works perfectly well. And
For social clout, they should probably be investing in their talent. But from a purely financial razor blade decision of how do we make the most money from the asset we have?
Yeah.
investing in people is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And this is why every company wants to replace people with AI.
This is going to be the thing in the next 10 years that determines whether or not LTT is a media conglomerate for the tech industry or fades into obscurity. Is this company right now lives or dies by Linus's ideas.
Yep.
And I'm being just very real there. Craft computing is nothing without Jeff. It's worth literally zero without Jeff at the helm.
I mean, all that RAM that your kids are eating, you could be turning that into money, Jeff.
Yeah, they're starting to complain about the GPUs. We're going to have to start supplementing with the RAM.
Yeah. They don't, GDDR5X kind of upsets their stomach. GDDR7's where it's at.
Right, exactly. But craft computing is literally valueless without Jeff at the helm because the brand depends on Jeff existing. Right now, the LTT brand depends on Linus existing as a figurehead and being on camera.
And they've tried to supplant him, and it doesn't work.
Other hosts have done well.
Yeah.
But not well enough. And so real talk.
Well enough to sustain their own channels.
I have
make a good amount of money.
Oh, 100%.
But not enough to sustain 26 employees.
Right.
Or however much they have.
And but the thing is, do you pay an Alex $150,000 a year? Is that a wise investment to make? Versus letting him go off somewhere else and replacing him with another $60,000 employee. $60,000's decent money starting wage, and maybe $90,000 tops. But it makes sense from a business perspective. I hate to say it. And again, this is where the nuance of craft computing comes in. Is I understand small, medium, large business. I've worked in these places. I've done these conversations. Is it worth giving this person that much more money, or is it worth paying two people 2/3 that wage to do the same work? Kind of the latter. And that sucks. And that's a difficult conversation to have. But that's why they have a CEO.
And they're AI generating all their thumbnails now.
I saw a couple of those.
Yep, and they used to have a dedicated thumbnail person. It's brutal when economics is the thing and people are held up, the parasocial relationships we develop with companies and people. And you're as an individual, Jeff, thankfully you can cater to those parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
You can say, you know what? If I AI generated all my thumbnails, enough people will be mad at me that I should probably not do that.
Yeah.
And you'll probably you have your audience is concentrated enough that they'll be like, I respect Jeff for not doing that. LTT doesn't have that problem because their audience is so vast that even if all of their original subscribers from the past 15 years hate that with a passion, that's not who makes the money. And that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's true, and that's why they're in shitifying.
Yeah. And I don't blame them because my conversation around my table of one is if I start doing AI thumbnails, I will lose memberships, Patreon, I will lose a lot of things. Because my whole brand is it's me.
Yeah.
That's me. The conversation around
you make your style making the thumbnails
the conversation
no
around
AI
LTT,
model is going to duplicate that.
The conversation around LTT, and I say this from completely as an outside perspective, is, hey, do we need to hire a thumbnail person for $90,000 a year, or could we just AI generate some thumbnails and do the same thing? And that sucks, and that's less personal, and we're going to piss off 10% of our audience. Could we take a 10% hit, and is that worth $90,000 of not paying an employee? That's probably worth $90,000 not paying an employee. That sucks. I hate that conversation. But from a business perspective, it also makes sense.
Yep. And this all of this to say, this is why monopoly's bad and small creators good. Because small creators can get distracted by soccer while they're in the middle of a live stream.
WNBA, but yes.
Exactly. Oh, well, soccer, basketball.
Pr0N!
All right,
the confetti
Vince.
just dropped.
Jeff is personally roasting you.
I
if
am.
you're in chat, you've been destroyed. We'll see you in the after party, Vince, for your sad take. Oh man. And again, this is the joys of
9489. God, what a good freaking game.
everyone in chat should at Circuit Rewind.
By the
and
way,
see if he's there.
9489 Portland. We outscored the Storm 27-15 in the fourth. That's
Damn.
why we won.
Yeah.
The Storm had a 14-point lead. Here, let me put this on screen. This is the win-loss estimator.
Wow. Is Seattle a better team? By betting standards?
No.
Or is this just based on
Seattle is 3-13. Seattle is not a great team. Portland for an expansion franchise. This is their first season. They're 8-9. Or did they just square it at 8-8? I forget. Or no, they're 8-9 because they lost to Minnesota the other day. That's right. I needed to ban Novella Hub. But
the way that Jeff's channel operates, we were talking about, hiring employees. He doesn't hire anyone. If he wants to ban his moderator because he doesn't like their take on basketball, he can do that.
moderators pay me.
That's true. Your mods do pay you monthly to be in your Patreon. Which I think I mentioned this before. Oh, as a last little thing, because I don't, Vince, I do kind of want to beat your record, but at the same time, I also have to piss after several hours.
Yeah, so some of us are just built different.
I know. Vince is he's vibe coding for like 6 hours a day. I don't understand how that man can do it. But yeah, again, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I was so distracted by what was I saying? I forget. Oh, I was roasting Vince.
Yeah.
Why was I roasting Vince? I don't know. I was roasting Vince for some reason.
Anyway, Believe in Yourself says, I admit to understanding this, but then again, I know another who bought his first jet for the exact same reason. Right. If you have $5 million in cash and you travel, it makes sense to put your cash into an asset that is not going to depreciate or lose value to inflation, that you can use for the same cost that you would use other services for, a la traveling to various sites within the continental United States or over to China or Taipei.
It will lose money to devaluation.
Depreciation. Kind of. But these jets actually don't, as long as they're maintained. And the maintenance cost is the only recurring cost that you're going to have.
No, you can write off the depreciation.
Which you can also write off. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, for those going, oh, it doesn't make any sense, he's just flouting his money. No, this was actually a really smart business decision.
Yeah.
Because that $5 million is not losing
terrible.
money to inflation anymore. That $5 million is now an asset that he can flip for $6 million next year and use for expenses that he would otherwise have to be spending on himself now.
Yeah. But for social reasons, Linus should have said, Linus Media Group now owns this and is renting it out to other creators. Not, we girl mathed so hard we got a jet. That pissed people off.
I don't care if it pissed people off. They should learn math. In his defense.
Yeah.
If you don't understand how business works, then stop having opinions on business.
That's true.
I'll say that. Words have meaning. Read between whatever lines you need to read between. It was a good decision.
I mean, Jeff, I think I have the authority.
Oh God,
here
Jeff's
because...
just a Linus defender now. Always
exactly.
have been. He had that whole expose against GN a couple years ago. Oh,
I have 80% of...
What was the result of all that? Let me ask you. What was the result of the whole scandal at LTT? Was it a nothing burger? Oh, it turns out it was.
Yeah,
wow.
It was nothing. Well, here's the thing, Jeff. I have 80% of a business degree from Boise State. So I think I can, my mostly GEs and not a capstone project can speak very clearly on business decisions.
I forgot you went to Boise.
Yeah, I went to Boise and I dropped out.
That's okay. I have 90% of an associate's degree.
There you go. They actually called me today, and they were like, "Hey, what would it take for you to rejoin this company, or not company? Well,
Rejoin your degree
basically,
path.
pretty much." And
Yeah.
I'm like, it would have to not cost that much money, uh, and I have to not be employed full time. Yeah, no, I'm good. But oh yeah, Cheese says Craft Computers and AMD shell and LTT Defender.
I already responded.
Yeah. Oh, would you? Wow. Oh God. Well, that's why you guys come here for your favorite LTT and Defender and Chill.
Buying a tech house was a worse investment than a jet, to be honest. No one's ever
In
really
Canada?
lost money in real estate, especially in Vancouver. Like,
Yeah.
for God's sakes.
Judges it. Oh,
Do you know how
sorry.
you make money in real estate? You buy real estate and you own real estate. And you hold real estate.
Yeah.
And you make money. That's how real estate works.
Yep. And you paint over every electrical socket with paint with like cheap latex paint.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not a fire hazard if no one can plug anything into it.
No, that's the how to be a landlord.
Yes. Oh, that's
the
true.
cheap latex paint and just roller
Yeah.
everything on.
That's what you did in your sister's room, right? So that
Actually, no. We
you painted over the power plug for her PC, and Infinity Nikki is just always playing, and as long as she never shuts it down, it's fine.
yeah.
And she hasn't yet.
Yeah. Michael says you buy real estate with other people's money. Also, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, that was so pretty. Sorry, I'm watching highlights right now.
I know how I know you should stream that and then get hard DMs.
I really should. Second quarter, Meg Gustafson has a picture perfect behind the back pass to Bridget Carlton for a 3. So she's driving right side and she sees Bridget coming around the top of the key, and she literally flips it around her back with her left hand and hits Bridget in stride and just up and pull up jumper. God, it's so good. Yeah. So much fun.
Bees knees, it's okay. No, most people I know don't have degrees they actively use.
Like, look, we can be upset that Linus went out and bought a jet, went out and spot ostensibly $4 or $5 million on a private jet. Yeah. We could be upset that he went out and spent $600,000 on a piece of real estate in Vancouver simply for the lulls of doing content on. Or you can understand the business side of things of owning assets with the cash that you have on hand is a better investment than having cash on hand.
And making content out of it makes it a business expense.
It doesn't even have to be
why they're doing that.
That is so far removed from the conversation, though, because owning assets as a corporation doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not a business expense. It's just an asset that you own.
Yeah. That's
you can spend your money as a corporation on anything, and it's an asset that you own now. It's not a write-off. It's just an asset. It is so far removed from the you earned $100,000 as a person to you earned $20 million as a corporation, and you bought this thing to be an asset. It's different math. It's not the same thing. And you can complain about $600,000 all you want. It wasn't your money in the first place, so who cares how he spends it?
Well, technically it was the fans' money. In the most pedantic way possible. It was their money.
I own screwdrivers too. I don't care how he spends his money. You give me money on Patreon. You shouldn't care how I spend my money. It's not your money.
Actually,
it's
Jeff,
my money.
Because I pay you on Patreon, I get $2 every single month of decision-making power on where my brick goes in your backyard studio.
By the way, the brick wall will be a thing. Don't think I've forgotten about bricks that I've sold. The bricks will be a thing. They will be an asset that's incorporated into the design of the main set.
Now I just got to think of what horrifying thing to put on the back of your studio.
I did have to clarify with Yakto, because Yakto bought a number of bricks, and he goes, do we get to decide what's on the bricks, or do we get to decide the pattern the bricks are laid out in? And I drew the line there. because he had enough bricks that was a concern.
He was going to make a penis on your back wall.
He was going to make a penis on my back wall. 10 to 1, he was going to make a penis on the back wall. And so I said, no, I am retaining the aesthetic choices of where the bricks are placed.
Gotcha. So you can make a penis on your back wall.
Yeah. But just because you give me money on Patreon does not mean that your parasocial relationship goes into an ownership stake of the company. I am not publicly traded.
Okay.
I own 100% of this, which means...
Craft Computing Logistics LLC, though, is publicly traded on the Salem stock market, right next to Bricks and Minifigs LLC, Salem, Oregon.
Yeah.
Or Kaiser, Oregon.
Bricks and BAM1 Salem.
Yeah, BAM1.
Yeah.
Gavin B.
Gavin B.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But no, and again, that's the parasocial thing is...
Yeah?
You give me money on Patreon. Does that mean you decide the direction of my company? No, you liked me enough to want to join the Discord to get behind the scene. That doesn't mean you can tell me what to do.
Yeah? Yeah?
Like,
You can suggest things to Jeff, and if he buys it, you get the expensive idea shield badge.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean he'll make a video about it, or that he won't pawn it off.
It just means you made a really poor investment.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a great investor because every dollar that I'm giving to you is being multiplied by you and not given back to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, what's really funny is I've given you more money now because...
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Because I sold you my M1 Studio.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which I need to deliver to Yocto tomorrow and fix one of my XCP and G clusters because, yeah.
Because apparently that cluster was a very poor business decision, which is why I don't let you make my business decisions.
It was free, though. I wrote it off. The IRS hasn't
off,
audited me yet.
That's right. I just bought a server instead of paying taxes. That's legit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, that's what all the AI companies are doing.
I mean, yes, but they're corporations, not LLCs.
Same difference.
That's the crux of it. Is we just don't have enough money.
This is true. This is true.
So if you want me to have more money and be able to just write off anything, I guess subscribe to the Patreon. Links down in the video description. Patreon.com/craftcomputing, and you can give me money to waste on whatever I deem fit because it's my money.
And you will not be guaranteed a Gavin Belsom, Gavin B.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will not be guaranteed a penis on Jeff's back wall.
Yeah.
Tragically.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I think there
are other perks.
I think there's at least one Gavin B brick, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so we can...
Someone submitted a brick, and it was Galvin B, but in that font.
Okay, good.
Which I kind of want to do narcissistic, or legitimately, Galvin B, but in that font. Place it on the brick, like a really bad cake maker.
But in that font, yes. I think what you should do is if you have a Gavin B brick, you should rotate it 90 degrees. So that it's vertical and everything else is horizontal. So the dick is standing vertically.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Anyway, we're gonna let Zeus go pee. And I'm gonna end the show. So thank you all so much for watching episode 437 of Talking Heads. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news right here on Craft Computing.
Woo!
Cool. Craftcomputing.store. Get some exclusive merch. We got pint glasses.
Yeah.
We did have to discontinue international shipping because of small explosions in other countries because gas prices and fuel surcharges were too much.
It's because of all the root beer we sent to Australia.
It's because of the goddamn Australians, is really what it is. You would not believe the ratio of orders I received to orders going to Australia. It's like 1 to 4. Like every fourth order, I swear to God, is going to Australia, and it's for like 2 pint glasses, and they paid the $15 flat charge that I was doing, but then I would end up spending $50 on shipping to Australia. And then Kendall, who does a lot of my shipping, would say, hey, Jeff, you need to stop shipping to Australia or charge them more. And I would go, okay, I'll do that like tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow. And then we'd get another order to Australia, and it'd be for a single pint glass. And it'd be a $35 order with $50 in shipping charges that I have to pay, which I can't do anymore. As you said
that, one of the Aussies just sent you $2 to offset his $50 shipping fee.
Daryl, who I forgot to read your super chat earlier, you said I'm back, and thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you for your second super chat, in which I didn't even read the first one. I'm sorry, but spend this on women and wine and not wasted. I spent way more than that this weekend on precisely that, women and wine, which by which I mean woman, my wife, and a lot of wine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was a good weekend. Beach. Thank you. Thank you for investing your money wisely.
Yeah. You can actually now influence where Jeff spends his 22nd wedding anniversary by paying into his Patreon.
That's right.
We actually have a vote where we say, where is Jeff going to spend it? Like a publicly traded company, there's the board.
Yeah. What's funny is, had you asked me like 7 years ago where I want to go for a particular anniversary, on the 20th, I would have probably said something like Alaskan cruise. Like, I love the West Coast, Pacific Northwest coastline especially. I would have totally gone cruise, but cruise seems like the wrong decision ever since 2020. And that has been reinforced by every cruise news I have seen come out since 2020. So
you could be the next super spreader, Jeff.
I'm trying to actively avoid that. So I don't think cruise ship is any longer on my bingo card.
Oregon man in Kia EV9 spreads the next virus.
Yeah, spreads the next variant of Ebola. Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I think the next anniversary, like the way it's going, I might like rent a lookout in Eastern Oregon. Like that. Yeah. That sounds like a lot less dangerous than Alaskan cruise.
This just in: local e-celebrity is shorting Alaskan cruise lines.
Hashtag I own no stock.
Hey. Just because you're shorting something doesn't mean you own stock in it. You're shorting it.
This is very true. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, we'll see you next week.